So many reasons to love Calgary, Alberta, the Bow River, the Rocky Mountains, Calgary Stampede in the summertime, and this week, it's the Scotties on TSN. We are right beside the Trans-Canada Highway that takes you to Banff, but the road to the playoffs really begins right now. It is a big day. It is a big matchup. Our feature, Alberta, Northern Ontario, next from Winsport on TSN. Good morning. Come on inside the building. As always, glad you're watching our coverage on TSN. Brian Mudrick, three-time Scotties champion, Kathy Gauthier. Kathy, if you want to win this thing, you want to be Team Canada, you want to go to the Worlds, today is really that big day to start to make a move.
Well, it really is, Brian. With only 3 teams moving forward, if you're at 2 or 3 losses, you cannot afford to lose anymore. Must-see
TV last night between these two skips, a combined 9 Scotties titles. Jennifer Jones taking on Rachel Homan, and Homan continues her stellar play, Kathy.
She has been unbelievable. Only lost to 1 Canadian team all year, that Carrie Anderson. And it was a wonderful match of great ability, but has the opportunity to end this game right here. Jennifer doesn't even have a chance to throw her last round.
Beautiful shot right through the port, and that's a massive win because that could be the difference of taking top spot in the pool. 7-5, the final. Adams, New Brunswick, beating Danielle Inglis 9-8 over on Sheet A. Kate Cameron keeping her playoff hopes alive, a 9-5 win over Carrie Galusha and Clancy Grandy. BC just 1 loss so far, 13-4 over Bailey Scoffin and Yukon. What stands out? Sturmay 5-0, Homan 5-0, and when you look at the losses, remember, top 3 make the playoffs. The first tiebreaker is the head-to-head. You really want to stay at those 2 losses. Let's begin with our feature, and let's begin with Alberta. Keep in mind, 1990, Kathy, the last time that a rookie skip won it all, and that was Allison Goring. If you want to win, you need some help, and Selena Sturmay is getting just that.
Is she ever? In the middle of the order, Desiree Haas, Danielle Schmiemann playing very, very well, but I really look at her third. Danielle Schmiemann has come to play, never dipped below 80, is hovering around 90 most of the time. When you're doing that, your degree of difficulty for your skip has been reduced.
Krista McCarville, so consistent at this event. In her last 7 appearances, her worst record, 8-4. She's made 2 finals. It was a tough start for this team, but it looks like they're finding their groove.
Well, they are. Krista, 2 in the 70s, 1 in the 50s early on. That's not typical. But the last 2, 96 and 83, she's starting to roll.
Krista McCarville has made 2 finals, 2 silver medals. Remember, the Scotties next year in Thunder Bay. How sweet would it be to show up in those Team Canada jackets? First Rock is next.
Every year we sign on, together as a team, and we say our #1 goal is to get to the Scotties, and this is our main goal. It always has been. Everything else is kind of a bonus, and, we're super excited, and we obviously strive to be the best.
They're really good at the finesse game. I think every year at the Scotties, she just plays unreal, so definitely looking forward to that game and having a close game from them, and probably learning a thing or 2 from them as well.
Facial tissue. Unleash the Scotties. By Home Hardware. Here's how. By PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. And by BKT Tires. Growing together.
We're about 15 minutes west of downtown Calgary. Winsport. Kathy, what are you watching on this Wednesday morning?
Well, Lordy St. George has brought Marie-France Larouche back into the lineup today, placing Corinne Brown. That's a really big game for Lord to stay in the mix. Caitlin Laws, well, she has to win out and hope for the best, takes on Jane DiCarlo from PEI. And Skylar Ackerman, so much a story early this week. The young 22-year-old takes on Stacey Curtis from Newfoundland and Labrador, and of course, our feature game.
Which brings us to Meet the Teams, brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how. And we'll begin with Selena Sturmay out of the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton. She is the skip at third, Danielle Schmiemann at second, Desiree Haas, and lead Paige Papler. Out of the Fort William Curling Club in Thunder Bay, Krista McCarville, your skip, Andrea Kelly third, Kendra Lee second, Ashley Sipola is lead. They have that 5-player rotation, so on the bench is Sarah Potts for this morning's game. There are your rock colors. As you see, it is Northern Ontario, the yellow, Alberta throwing the red. Krista McCarville and company winning that all-important draw to the button before the game. So they have hammer, and to kick things off for Team Alberta, it is Paige Papley. So impressive, Kathy. We talked about her off the top of the show. You come in as a rookie skip. No rookie skip has won this thing since 1990. You have to tip your cap to this team and Selena Sturmay, and a wonderful performance thus far.
You really do. You saw those numbers for Paige.
Unfortunately, not a great start there.
Oh, and she's calling me a guard.
Yeah. 14, yeah.
Do we think it'd be like 14 to T?
Well, the draw to the button numbers were not particularly good.
For sure.
And it may not matter so much for Alberta because of their record, but for a team like Krista McCarville, who may wind up, if there is a 3-way tie, having to worry about what that is, you want your numbers to be very, very small, like 10 centimeters, for example, not in the hundreds.
Ashley Sipola leads stones for Northern Ontario. And what a situation, and a great one to be in if you're Alberta, Kathy. If they win, they are into the playoffs, and they will also be
15.
1 or 2 in the group. So that is massive if they can pull off a victory.
I think the other thing it does, Brian, with the win is that you just keep that momentum going, which is what you want.
Easy early. Easy
And there's
early.
an interesting stat. They've always started with last rock. That gives you that confidence, that extra oomph when you start. And so this is a bit new territory for them.
Only if you can.
See if they play a little bit more conservative.
Yep. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good. 5-1.
So
Yeah,
that
this might be a little
5-1
quicker.
that
This
you
is like
hear, that's
be broken in one.
15.1 between the Hogs. They dropped the 1. And then you heard the opponent saying 14. So there's a little bit of different philosophies right now on how quick the ice is.
Line's good. Line's good. Little room. Room,
Easy,
guys.
easy.
Room. Line's good. No, line's good.
Gotta be Kendra.
Line's good.
Kendra's rock. Kendra's rock.
Yep,
Go, go,
Kendra.
go.
Hard, Kendra.
Hard, Kendra, go.
Hard.
Go, go, go,
Charlie.
go, go. Hard,
Early
hard,
back.
hard, hard. Go.
Oh, easy, easy. Easy, easy, easy. Easy.
Well,
Okay.
a little bit if you could.
Game on early here in Calgary on this Wednesday morning. Rocks in play.
Signing good here? Yeah. That's so good.
This an all-rookie team, except for this young woman right here, Desiree Haas, who's been at the Scotties before. She was actually in the bubble as well
Line's
back
good.
in 2021.
Easy
And it's Desiree Haas throwing the second stones for Team Alberta.
We've seen Desiree before with Corinne Brown when she lived in BC, but made the move to Alberta this year. Not just to curl, but with her life as well. And so called out to Selena Sturmay and said, you need a player.
Her fiance is Tyler Tardy, your nephew, and we'll see Tyler at the Briar.
We will.
Should we just go to the wing? Or
do we
like
split?
on top?
Yeah. I don't like.
You don't like to the wing, eh? That,
Do we ever-
You don't like to the wing? Yeah, we could. You guys like Have me back here. I think I like it.
Yeah. It's got to be at least T-line.
Yeah.
And the philosophy here is you not only spread your stones out, but you, if you're in the wing, that's something that Selena Sturmay is likely going to chase instead of worrying about playing the run back. And so this is a bit of a lure the opponent into the open.
We need piece of eight.
Take a look. Take a look.
Have a look. Not curling much. Gotta be back eight. Piece of eight, guys. Yep. Hard. 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 Seven. Hard. Hard. Just here. Get a biter. Get a bite of the eight. Yep.
The 8-biter, and she'll finish top 12. Kathy, keys to the game.
Well, for Alberta, it's to embrace the moment. You have this opportunity
Sorry, it
playing
looked like
at
it was
home
flying at
that
one point.
so
Yeah.
often you don't get in your career, and they've started to play a lot looser when they have done that. And Danielle, I've talked about her already and will continue to do so because she has made such a difference to this team.
Clean. Normal. Clean. Curl. 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 Whoa. big roll.
And for Northern Ontario, the rise up refers to Andrea Kelly. Such a great player, but 74% to 90.
10. Okay.
It is wanting to rise to that ladder
okay
number
pass,
to
right?
help Krista
Yeah.
out and chasing consistency through the order. And part of that, Brian, I think, is the rotation change. This team's stats have been a roller coaster, and it's hard to call an aggressive game when you don't know what you're going to get.
Keys to the game
And
brought to you by
Justin.
Cashmere Bathroom Tissue. Nothing
Whoa.
feels like cashmere.
Whoa, Ash! Curl! Curl!
Hard, go Ash, go, 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 go. Whoa, 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 whoa.
And let's be crystal clear here, Kathy, as well. And had a great chat with Krista McCarville before the championship. Everyone is on board with this 5-player rotation. They talked about this at length. They felt, listen, we've made 2 finals. We haven't won this thing yet.
they
So
did
what
not
could
move.
be the difference? And they all believe the difference could be adding Andrea Kelly. So they're all in. They've bought in. They had a lot of respect for Andrea. Remember, played her. Andrea had that great run in Thunder Bay with her team.
Yes.
And they were dynamite. They played, I believe, in a 1-2 game that year. And now teammates here trying to make that deep Scotties run.
Yep. Normal. Yep. Yep. Normal. Hard. Hard. Just nose. Just nose. That's good. 9. 9-5. Yep.
10.5.
It's a dangerous stone to leave
I
there.
still had a nice positive release on it, but yeah.
This is the new piece to the puzzle. Andrea Kelly
So just 10.5.
won a Canadian under 21
no.
championship in
Easy.
Fredericton back in 2005.
10-5.
Whoa, whoa, Ash.
Hard, Ash.
Hard, Ash, hard.
A great run in Thunder Bay back in 2022, the 8-4 record, winning the bronze medal, losing that 1-2 game to McCarville.
You ever play that?
Yep.
You seen it with here?
And this is part of the rotation, and I feel
I think firm is okay.
for Ashley Sipola the most, because when Kendra Lilly comes in, she always plays second. When Sarah Potts comes in, she always plays lead. But Ashley is the player that bounces and fills in the gap depending on who is playing. And so for Ashley, that's really tough. You're either coming in the game thinking that it's all about draw weight, or a second right now is considered the same almost as a third in terms of, you know, challenging shots, degree of difficulty. It's a
Girl.
very different
Girl.
mindset.
Curl.
Danielle Schmiemann will run the Redstone by, and in your mind, Kathy, one of your keys off the top of the broadcast, she has been a difference maker, will be continue to be one. We saw her in the bubble actually in Calgary, and she won the bronze medal with John Morris competing in the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship that year, and that year it was
We tap our middle one.
Harry Anderson teaming up with Brad Gushu. They won the gold medal here.
No, not back here. If we're here, it will. That would
Okay.
be double.
That was a tough bubble, but if you're Carrie Anderson, pretty good memory. She won the Scotties. She won that championship as well.
T-line. T-line.
Back 4. Yes, back. Yes, back.
We can even go back 8, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
15 was my.
So the big discussion here is not what to do, it's where do you put your second stone so that you don't create a double opportunity for Selena Sturmay to get out of this.
Room. Room.
I think it's there.
Room.
Well, that's not a hammer
Ash is blocked.
efficiency that you would like. You're
Where
hoping
are we?
for
Tap the red
50.
middle
The really good
Yeah,
teams
yeah.
are upwards of 60.
Yeah, it's back. It's back.
Kendra.
It's your ability to score
Whoa,
2 or
Ash,
more
Ash,
when you
Ash,
have
Ash.
last rock.
So they tried, I think, a couple
Okay.
audibles on the way down here, Kathy, just with the weight of that stone.
What was that?
13-1.
13-1? Wow.
13.
It didn't move, but maybe that's just because it was heavy.
Yeah. I thought you were a little bit wide, and then it just takes a little bit of time
Takes
to
time,
cross.
yeah.
Like Ash's took time.
You got it a lot more than a quarter. The 10? Okay. I think just the roll. Okay.
deciding that it's too sharp to take on the double, so looking to play the hit and roll.
Selena Sturmay, such a cool customer on the ice. She showed up, home province, gone about her business. Wonderful job so far with her and her team, the 25-year-old out of the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton.
Yep. Hair down. Hard. Hair down. Yep. Hard. Roll
Hard. Good throw. 10.5. Okay. It came down a bit as it went on the ice. That was a good throw. Good throw.
Couple of Canadian championships, gold medals for her at U Sport at the University of Alberta. Wonderful program.
Good throw. It just came
Developing
down
a lot of world-class curlers over the years.
Curl's actually pretty good too at the end.
Let's make this. Okay, nose. Yeah. Close. Yep. With. Let's see. Oh wow. What kind of weight? Like 9.5, 10. Hers seemed to curl nice with 10. Yeah. So really close.
Looking to get to the nose, does not want to roll towards the center line to create a double. She sticks right there. There won't be one.
Keep your hair easy. Well, I was thinking closer to 9.5.
There is, you would roll out with the shooter, and that would allow the blind.
Trying to improve on that hammer efficiency here in the first. McCarville with hammer. Hit, roll. And for now lies 2, but that looks like a pretty standard double.
You got a time on that?
9.3.
Oh,
Yeah.
they called it a little easy.
Well, mine too, and it was a 10.3. It was supposed to be 10.5. Because
Yeah.
it's just that much faster, yeah.
Yeah. It rolled to a good spot.
What turn are you seeing? I was kind of seeing the out at it. Whatever you like. I think I like the out. Okay. See in there? Okay.
To the eye, the out turn is for sure easier. That yellow one that is maybe biting the top of the house there, Muddy, gets in the way with the in turn.
And don't want to jam on that little red stone. In the red there, back 12. The U21 Canadian champ from back in 2019. 11-0 that year, winning the gold medal. Selena Sturmay trying the double. There's that jam, all but some action, and it spins out and lovely. However, chance for that little split up there, and a chance for 2 for Northern Ontario. McCarville might double check to see if it's in already, but regardless, you could play that little tap and split.
I think they've decided that it is in, just given the broom. Not a bad throw at all by Selena. It gets a really unfortunate just with that stone coming back as it did.
I think 14.3 is in the rings. Yeah.
Probably that 14.5.
That's what we were thinking. Yeah.
So they do believe indeed that that yellow stone up top to the right of your screen is in. There you go, the overhead look.
And the teams do know before the event starts how close the rings are, if there's any tolerance, and it does appear to be in, so not going to get anywhere near there if they think it's in. Krista was part of the draw to the button before the game started, so would have been throwing lots of draws.
Make it nice for her.
Her final stone here in 1, Northern Ontario, Krista McCarville. And no problem with that draw. Schmiemann will take a look, and yeah, kicks it away. So 2 on the board. Nice job with hammer early. We're underway on this Wednesday morning. Our feature, Alberta, Northern Ontario. Welcome back to our Scotties coverage. Getting closer to the weekend. Championship weekend on Sunday in our feature. Nice draw, Krista McCarville, 2 on the board, a 2-0 lead with play underway now here in this second end at Winsport.
spotlight.
Easy early.
Had a good chat with Krista
Okay, yeah, you can go.
about
Yep.
this team and
Little
the work that they
wide.
put in. They practiced a ton.
Hard line.
Don't obviously travel a lot, but they're fine with that. That's their plan, Kathy. That's the way they want to do it. Krista actually said, we want to inspire other females that you can do this thing without traveling. Stay with your job, stay close to your families. They want to do it our way. And man, they've been so close over the years, and they take a lot of pride in doing it the way they want to do it.
Well, and you can appreciate that there are some careers, like Krista's as a teacher, that don't lend itself to traveling.
All right, Kathy, update time. Let's check in on BC Quebec.
Well, it is BC that lies too, and so for Laurie St. George trying to play the double.
No, never, never, never.
Okay. Clean. Clean.
Laurie St. George very much in that playoff hunt. Just the 2 losses. You want to stay at 2.
Hear the voice of Marie-France Larouche back in the order. Oh, does not touch it.
So that is close. This Quebec team added Jamie Sinclair out of the United States. And they're going to point to yellow, so it'll be a steal of 1 for Corinne Brown.
Good end, guys.
And just to finish that thought, Brian, about Northern Ontario, you know, not everyone's jobs, people think, well, you have to really travel. Well, it's ideal in curling these days if you're on the road all the time. But if you have a family and if you have a career that means something to you that you want to still do, like Krista, as a school teacher, you can't just say, I'm going every week. It just does not work. And so they've decided that they will just spend their time practicing and working on their skill. And as Krista said, this is their dream. Their goal each year is to get to the Scotties and perform well.
And you credit to big-time Rick Lang, their coach, who says, you know, the way they practice, and Krista adding to this when I chatted with her, we practice with purpose. If we're going to practice, we got to make them count. And she said last season, 90% of their practice time, they were a lot of drawing, getting draw weight down. This year, they worked on rotation, releases, technical stuff. And from mid-December on, they worked on actually shot making, specific shots. So you show up and it's not, I'm just going to throw rocks up and down. They really commit to these practices, and full credit to Rick Lang, who helps them with that. Away goes the yellow.
Well, and that was the dangerous rock. The stone that is in the 12-foot is not too much of a concern to Alberta, but a stone on the 4-foot is a problem.
Less ice. Are we going to the court? Less ice.
And she also rolled to another corner guard, which is also great.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Same throw.
Yeah.
Very similar weight. A little more.
Oh, you think so?
Always nice to steal a little something.
Line
15
good.
stolen
Roll,
points, tied with Clancy Grandy out of BC in that department. Finding a way to generate the offense without Hammer. Line is good, and the weight looks really nice, and great little draw right to the hearts.
Very nice.
How much do you have? About there. I think you just make this. Okay.
Found the line.
Half. Less than half.
Good shot.
Nice shot there from Kendra Lilly. Every sheet in play. A huge Wednesday. We'll keep you up to date all morning and evening long. You just saw the update with BC, up 1-0 to steal there. Caitlin Laws, Manitoba. That's a massive game. Caitlin has to win, basically, up 2-0 there. And Saskatchewan, a 1-0 advantage. Skylar Ackerman has been a nice story, a hot start. Bit of a road bump as of late as she's trying to find her form again.
A nice shot by Desiree Haas to move that guard out of the way and also push that yellow stone out.
Yeah. Side one's out. Sweeping. Nice speed here.
Yeah.
Like 16, 16, 5.
Not quite half. Yeah. Sorry, I meant. Yeah, Ash.
Keep carrying.
Hold it out there, Ash. Line's pretty good. Hey, line's good.
Tight.
Line's good. Stay close. If it's tight, we gotta go. Who? Or if not tight, you. Yeah, go, go, go. Ash, help. Yep, little more. Go, go, go. Not across the hair. Oh, easy, easy, easy.
Really nice.
Yep. Good. 16.
Oh, shoot, we needed to
Just want to tap it.
Needed just to curl that smidge more.
Back line.
There is the
about a
port, and
quarter.
it does finish so nice.
back line. We're just gonna try and stay close to nose. Okay. I threw in practice a back line about here, and it curled still at the end. We're probably like a 13 for back line, hey? Yeah. Okay.
You got her.
Lean's good. Lean.
Got a little light.
Just back line. Not heavy. Close. Back line. Yep. Whoa.
Just back line.
Curl. Curl.
Good back line.
Curl. Curl.
Good back line. Just through.
Curl. Whoa.
That Yellowstone will hang on, back 12. Kathy, there is nothing better for a skip in a long weekend championship when you see numbers like this from your third.
Well, the low is the first number, and I talked about it already. Danielle at 80%, and then her high, the total overall between the two thirds is not that much, 2%, but that number, the +4, that means that in the 5 games that they've played, Danielle has been 5% or better than her opposing third. That goes through the order and impacts the skip.
Trying to save this one for Andrea Kelly, and it will hit and roll and spill, and we'll catch some of the ring's top 12.
I like that. This way, topping.
Seeing this way.
Okay.
A lot of adjustments, Kathy, when you look at all these teams and rosters and moving positions. We talked about
Whatever
Northern
you like.
Ontario and
I kind of like this
the
way.
5-person rotation, but Andrea Kelly for so many years, junior, New Brunswick, we saw her at the skipping position as well.
And adjustments are tough. You know, on one hand, everybody says, isn't it great that you've got someone who's a skip with Krista McCarville? Yes, it is, for sure. Her skill making is noted. But for Andrea, there's a change. All of a sudden now she's having to learn to sweep and look at rocks from up down instead of looking at them coming at her. And so there are a lot of changes. That whole team from Northern Ontario has had to make a lot of adjustments with the rotation. It doesn't work for everybody. We saw it with Jennifer Jones last year. The theory is great, but in actual reality, it can be really tough on the players. That's a bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card, just where it stopped.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I've got to watch out for that. That way?
Yeah.
Probably there.
Top rock.
Yep. Hard and thick. Begin.
Yeah. Ashley.
So when she says hard and thick, because they're flat,
Just hit it enough
you're
to kind
hitting
of
it
push
like
it out.
this, and so it's going to go out sideways. But if you throw quieter weight, all it's going to do is move the second one to my left as you look at it behind those guards. And so this will be thrown with a fair amount of weight.
Gotta go!
Right out of her hand, you hear Andrea Kelly. Kendra Lilly, head down, all she's got, hit it, and gets it across to go. Lovely double.
Very nicely. We're worried a little bit about the jam at the back, but with that kind of weight, it caught a chunk of it, but still rolled out.
Good.
Oh wow, that might be the best one ever. But it's right. She said the same thing.
I was thinking we could maybe save that.
Stacey Curtis settles into the hack for an update on Sheetsy, Kathy.
And she's being forced to play the double. She is second shot at the back, but no way to get to the shot stone without playing the double.
Yeah!
But if she can get to the nose and make it, it is for 2.
Skylar Ackerman came out that 3-0 record, then losing the last 3, and Curtis can't make the shot, so it'll be a steal of 1 and a 2-0 advantage for the young 22-year-old skip out of Saskatchewan.
Yep, keep going. Yep, keep going. Hard, 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 hard. Roll it right over, Paige. Okay, okay, okay. All right.
Ouch.
12 and a half. Okay. Is that really down? 12.5. Do I need to be like really more? Yeah, that was quite soft, I thought. That's all. It was okay, 12 and a half.
And she has this anyways. Like if we're here, but then she plays that tap. You do, yeah? I mean, that's very or over very.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, because that's the tough line out there.
I know. No, so I'm saying if she were to come up, I don't mind it. I mean, should we stay? We'll just see what she says.
Yeah.
Every year, Kathy, Laurie St. George comes in with that competitive fire and takes a lot of teams to the brink. A 3-2 record coming in, taking on Corinne Brown today.
Well, and Corinne Brown is shot, but for Laurie, she's just trying to chip it over. She doesn't have to move it out of the house, but if she can move it 6-8 inches outwards, a chance for a couple.
Critical to stay at those 2 losses. Top 3 in each side will qualify for the playoffs.
Easy, whoa, whoa, Kendra, whoa.
And that will go right through, so a steal of 1.
Weight was really good for that shot.
And a 2-0 advantage, as we talked about Marie-France LaRouche in the lineup for this game. As a Quebec skip back in the day, a silver medalist. And that was in Red Deer in 2004 in this province.
Well, that is unfortunate for Krista. Back-to-back, Selena closed off her gap to the 4-foot, and then Krista opened it up.
I thought so too, yeah. I thought so too. Shoot. Probably pretty
like the
close.
hit. I think I'm almost seeing a 9.5 just to keep it there. This way. I don't think I'll do a 10. Yeah, I think you can throw either, whatever you're feeling. 9.5? Yeah. Okay.
I agree with Danielle. That hole is such that you could play the in or the out, whatever your personal preference is. See the space. Does need to stick around though.
9.5.
It's 1 for sure if she rolls out, maybe 2. They've taken a look at the stone at the very top there. Looks out to me, Mutz.
So Kathy, both these skips sort of letting each other off the hook in the second end. The first time all week Alberta has trailed at the Scotties. You saw the graphic, though. They've had the hammer for each and every game except for this one. And we know Northern Ontario's done a great job with stealing points. And this is starting to curl. Got to hang on and stick, and she will. A nice hit and stay for Selena Sturmay. She'll pick up her single. 2-1, McCarville leads, and she has hammer when we come back to Calgary. It will be the 11th time the Canadian Women's Curling Championship will be decided here in the wonderful province of Alberta. Kids in the house, a lot of great signs. Support for all the provinces. Right across Canada, you see Manitoba represented, BC, PEI right there. Awesome stuff.
It looked like a Hilton Head lighthouse.
It's been really nice to have young people in the building watching this wonderful game that we all love. And our feature is the host province, Alberta, and Krista McCarville, Northern Ontario. McCarville leading by 1 with hammer, with play underway here in the third.
And it's felt so far, Muddy, like in the first 2 ends, there's been a little bit of tentative play. Neither team really so far taking the grasp of the ice and demonstrating that they're very confident and comfortable.
You really feel, though, Kathy, the key for teams in a long week in this field, it's the teams that don't have their best stuff but still grind and find a way to get a win. And that's usually what separates the teams in the playoffs. And this is the day. Today's separation day, Wednesday, when it comes to those standings.
Well, and you look at who's got the bye this morning. That's Carrie Anderson. And I have felt from word go that that is a team that, for some reason, seems to be flying under the radar. I don't know what they need to do to have people stand up and take notice. They are 4-time defending. They are playing very, very well. And yet they're just kind of quietly going about doing their business. And for people to overlook them is a mistake.
It was a tough start, too, with Brianne Harris ineligible to play. Kristen Karwacki comes in. A lot of questions early on. They put the noise behind them and played some very nice curling and looking for that unprecedented 5th straight Scotties title in that Scotties era.
Back 8.
Tapping. So that same 14. Yeah. Might even be a bit quicker here.
What a week it has been for Selena.
Yeah, back 4, back 8. Whoa.
Back 12.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yes. Whoa. Yep. Girl. Go, Ash. Go, Ash. Go, Ash. Back 12. Hard, Ash. Hard.
Real hard.
Ashley Sipola
Hard.
carve it over, a little bit of a tap.
Okay.
And it is Shotstone, Northern Ontario, top hearts.
Well, Ashley Sipola knifing it, trying really hard to make that Kendra Lily Stone curl.
Sorry, it was actually heavier than I thought.
Yeah. We need to be on that all day.
Yeah. Well, now we probably peel, eh?
It's not really like.
We'll peel now.
Oh, not light if anything. Top 4. Well, top 4.
Curl.
T.
Curl.
T.
Curl.
T-line.
Curl.
Go around it. T-line.
Whoa.
Go around.
No. Straight.
You're by.
Whoa.
Good line call.
Lovely draw away. Desiree Haas, who is also in the bubble in Calgary back in 2021. She was in the mixed doubles curling championship with now fiance Tyler Tardy.
I only really wanted to tap it a foot.
Okay. Curling as much.
Getting married in Canmore
Perfect weight.
next year.
Yeah, weight was really good.
And for Desiree, lots of support. That's Shannon on the left and Terry on the right. That's her mom and dad.
If you ever get the opportunity, I'm so lucky to call Alberta my home province. I've lived in Ontario for the last 20-some years, but had a chance to get to Canmore for a few hours yesterday, Kathy, just west of here. My goodness, beautiful,
So beautiful.
beautiful country here in the Rocky Mountains. Walking around the corner on a path, and 2 big elk say hello. What's up? Just very special part of the country here. Calgary and surrounding area.
Not yesterday, but
It feels quicker underfoot, like not the other draws. Yeah.
halfway's good.
Well, what a great opportunity for Alberta to put a lot of pressure on this Northern Ontario team. Try to guard this up.
Line's good. Wait, tight.
And
Good
not
drill.
super close either. Don't want to give a run back.
Tight, really tight. Line's good. Tight. Cheer broom.
Danielle, a gold medalist as well at the
Just cheer broom.
Canadian Juniors, now being called the U21 Championship, with Kelsey Rock, who's in the field, and then that World Championship gold as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now over curled.
Try to just touch that even.
Yep.
Just want to
Good
miss
judge.
that. Like
Just
there.
if I'm a
Like
little
back
lighter,
nine,
it's-
back 12. Which
See what kind of weight she wants.
10 or
wow.
10 and a half. I like.
You can even throw less.
Okay, bump.
Okay, good positive here.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, you got it.
So trying to get across the face of this stone
Definitely curls.
and roll underneath.
Is that enough with bump?
Well, we want to hit
Yeah,
it here.
great.
Right?
Trying to hit it thin. Okay.
Just be positive.
in her 12th Scotties appearance, Andrea Kelly.
Hard, really hard.
Hard, you still got it.
Hard.
Hard, hard, you got it. Keep going.
Hard.
Little tickle of the Reds, still shot stone, Northern Ontario.
That's a pretty good shot.
It is a very good shot. Not only does she move one back, but she sets up the opportunity that those two red go with the nose hit now.
Okay.
You heard Selena off the top of our broadcast talk about Krista McCarville, her game, what to expect, and said maybe we'll even pick up a few things or learn something, a little thing or two.
I love that.
What would you be picking up on in watching Krista play and compete?
Well, Krista is known as, first of all, a very technical player. She calls a real variety of weights. So maybe what Selena's looking for is someone who has respect of her peers, as Krista does. What kind of weights do they play in certain situations, like the one you just saw, Brian? I thought that was a really awesome comment that maybe we'll learn from someone who's been here, done that, and has had some victories.
Streets. Streets. T. Bolt.
And remember, too, Alberta, the only loss for Carrie Anderson, Team Canada was so far versus Team Alberta. Updates continue. Let's check in on Caitlin Laws, Manitoba, and PEI DeCarlo, Kathy.
Well, on her final stone, Veronica Main, who throws the fourth stone for PEI, placed it right on top of their shot stone. Didn't really want to go that far, but you can see that a nose hit, both of them will go. But not a lot of tolerance for Caitlin. Can't afford to roll because right now it is PEI line 3.
The two-time Olympic gold medalist, Caitlin Laws. Mixed doubles, the team game with Jennifer Jones. Bang. And that shooter is going to hang on. So a single for Caitlin Laws.
One red. Yeah, got 8-8. Yeah, I said closer to 9.
Oh, God. Just freeze it, or are you thinking move it?
I was just thinking, yeah, freeze it, like little tap freeze.
Yeah.
If anything, move it on my last.
Yeah. Okay.
She's probably playing
She's probably
mix.
coming off of that. Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I think you want to
I think it's too early to hit it.
To the nose.
Okay.
You see anything different? I think if I move it a little bit, she might not be playing
Yeah.
I think on tap too sweet, right? Like, you sacrifice.
No, I think I like that. I don't like killing it, so. Compared to that wing throw, just T-line weight then?
Yeah, it's some curl here and some don't. It's really weight sensitive.
Okay. Yeah, it
Probably
seems like we
take a hair
can get
less
it
just 'cause
to
I
go
won't
with
be
the right
light,
weight.
yeah.
Okay. Just a little bit high.
They have a great opportunity here not to take that stone out, but to place it right here. And even if you tap a little bit and then this stone, this yellow stone comes back, you don't need to get rid of it. But if you have it on the high side, so a little bit to the right on top, any play that Krista McCarville will try to do removes her own. And if you leave it maybe on Selena's last stone, she'll have a tap to lie about 4 in the 4-foot with very little chance for Krista McCarville to score multiple.
Update time as Leroy St. George, Team Quebec, trying to pick up win number 4 this morning.
Well, Brian, we talked yesterday that she loves lots of rocks in play. The problem with that is if you love lots of rocks in play, you better make a lot of shots because Corinne Brown is really applying the pressure. 3 in the 4-foot is what Lori faces.
So looks like a little out-turn tap on that yellow, touching the hearts.
But boy, that stone at the top that is biting the top of the 4-foot is very, very close to the shot stone.
In the meantime, in our feature, it's that one lonely yellow stone right now for Krista McCarville as they discuss their options. Final stone on the way, Leroy St. George.
Yes, line's good. Okay, let's try that.
Trying to get her first point here over on cheat A. Big scrub. You got to move it far enough and get there and won't. And where does that shooter go? Did that spin too far?
Oh.
And it looks like a steal of 2.
I think it did.
One for sure.
Marie France looks things over.
Yes, it's 2.
It is 2, so Brown, a steal machine. 4 stolen points to start that one.
Really good positioning, guys.
We have seen, though, a lot of comebacks this week, Kathy, including the biggest in Scotties history, courtesy Carrie Galusha, who came all the way back. What was it, down by 6?
7.
Down by 7. Unbelievable.
Whoa! Yeah! Whoa! 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 Kendra, hard! Hard, Kendra!
Krista McCarville, skip stones, hit, flip inside, and she'll lie 2 for now with hammer here in 3.
Or 1 if she... Sorry? It'll be hard to get scoring, actually, if she makes this double.
Good job by Kendra to move that stone as much as she can.
Just be like, it's hard.
Okay.
Do you leave her a double for a pile?
Top 4. Or do you
Yeah,
play
she's
this?
tucking
I was gonna say you play that one. She still probably has this double for 2.
I don't think so, because I think it's close to going there. If she is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the smarter
Easier
call,
one.
eh?
Okay.
Update time, Kathy, Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, Labrador.
Well, a pile of rocks in play, but the most important ones belong to Stacey Curtis from Newfoundland and Labrador, already lying 2. This is a draw for 3, looking for 4 foot.
Yeah, probably.
Curl a little.
I think it's going.
Ackerman trying to keep her hopes alive and stay at 3 losses.
Nice.
Curtis trying to play spoiler. Nice draw weight there. And a lead. 3 on the board, 3-2 after 3. And the discussion continues here
I just don't
on our
want it to
feature,
spin.
Kathy.
Yeah.
Firm.
Okay.
Well, the
I
problem
don't think
is,
it'll curl much.
is if you threw it really hard and picked that stone out and you leave this stone here,
Firm.
there's a double opportunity for a pile.
yeah.
And so that is why they want to be really careful trying to hit their own red one on the shot stone. And they're prepared if they have to give up 2, but they're not prepared to give up 3. Good call.
Not used to trailing at this year's Scotties. Team Alberta, Selena Sturmay.
Hard!
Her final stone on the way here in 3. Oh boy, she'll clip her red. And can you draw in there?
I
Can
just
you
got a 9-2
somehow
on that
get
page.
3 here
I
for
don't know if she
Krista
actually threw
McCarville?
that. I got a 9-2. I don't know if she actually
Yeah, you sure can.
Oh, I think that's fair, right?
That's
Be an easy draw.
just out of the blue.
Double tap.
I
You
think
that's
so. Can
easier?
you even get in there?
Or no, eh?
Kind of
I think
chip
that's,
off
no,
that
that's
one?
tough.
Yeah.
Double tap?
Could you ever draw here?
Yeah, maybe.
Just
Actually,
no.
Because I can't really
'Cause you
hurt
can't
us.
hurt us.
Yeah, let's do that. You there? It's a little
You got 2 in your back
so.
pocket, Kathy. Just
What's
don't
that?
want to disrupt
The
that.
red for shot.
So you
Not
could
for sure.
play
We
a
can't tap.
tap
Like, we can't
Yeah.
tap.
on those.
Tap.
The
No,
easier
can we
shot
tap?
may be to loop around.
No,
No?
but for
That'd be some really nice finish,
Yeah.
Kathy.
Like not for shot. but-
Little carving. Neither of those shots are very
you guys like
easy.
this with the double tap?
As long as we can't tap her in for
No, we
second
tap
shot,
it to nose, then we can.
we're still shot. Okay, I like this then. Yeah.
No, there's no risk with this. Even if you tap the yellow
Okay,
stone,
so
Look at it.
it's not going to
it looks
outcount
better
the
down
one on the
there. Well,
right
think
that
that
is
red one
almost
isn't
biting the
I'll just
lid.
get on it hard after the.
Do you think it's actually even there, Kathy?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Like-
it finishes. It's really tough, Brian. But the double tap is, it is really, really hard.
She has 2 right now. Final stone on the way here in 3. Krista McCarville. You just don't want to mess around with that red stone in the pocket too much. Yeah, they're just going to get off it.
Actually, yeah, weight would have been great.
Yeah.
Shoot, weight was pretty good.
So it will be 2. And another good job with hammer as they convert. And a 4-1 advantage for the 2-time finalist, Krista McCarville, as we step aside from
Wait,
Calgary.
I played a chicken, like,
Some of the great players in the game and on the ice here as well. And you see most Scotties games played all time as a skip, and Krista McCarville just passing Sue-Ann Bartlett now, 129 and counting. Jennifer Jones obviously all time at 229.
Well, that's wonderful, and it does show too that these are players that have just been so dedicated to their craft year after year after year.
We know it's the final Scotties for Jennifer Jones. I asked Krista about Jen's impact on curling in the game, and Krista McCarville saying the best of all time, what she's done year after year, and doing it with now young children and a family. It's pretty impressive. She's the best of the best, and she's done it all. She's going to go out in a high, win or lose. So Jennifer Jones obviously has a lot of respect amongst the competitors out here.
Well, you can't not have respect for what she has done.
In a 4-1 advantage, Northern Ontario. A great job, 2 hammers, 2 conversions, and 4 on the board. Alberta with hammer, down by 3, throwing the Redstones here in the 4th.
And it was funny, you could hear under Krista's breath last end. She said, I kind of played chicken with that. Sometimes when you're lying 2 and your shot is really difficult, you just don't want to make a mess out of what is a guaranteed 2.
And you hate to pick on her, but we've seen that. Caitlin Laws in one game in particular had a chance for a 4. Ended up, what?
1?
Yeah, taking the 1. And it's just, you don't want to be your own worst enemy in a long week like that. So take your 2. 3-point lead here in 4.
Yeah, we could peel. Peel?
Just we're up 4-1.
Can't hear you.
Scoreboard.
Peel?
And that is the Rick Lang School of Curling influence for sure. Look at the scoreboard. Remember where you're at. They're buried. You're up 3 points. Peel the guard.
Rick playing in 10 Briars back in the day. He won 3 times, a 2-time world champion, and a great voice for years behind the bench for this McCarville team.
Yes! Hard!
Sudbury's Kendra Lilly. Corner goes, but that'll roll to the center.
So out of the rotation today is Sarah Potts, and Sarah, her dad is Rick Lang, so they're having a little father-daughter moment this morning, but she is a terrific player. Look at her numbers. She is second amongst all leads, and I believe that when she is out of the lineup, it is not a great thing for her team. Beyond her playing ability, she has a connection with Krista McCarville that we see every year. She is a part-time strategist out there, and I think watching her mom, Lorraine Lang, and her dad, Rick, grow up curling at a high level, she's got a really high curling IQ, and so I know the rotation works, but she is such an integral part of this team.
Well, Kathy, you can speak to this. We saw it last year with Jennifer Jones. They had that rotation. They make the final. I know you sign up for it. I know everyone says, yeah, I'm on board. We're all on the same page, but you arrive at the Scotties, you're that person on the bench. I mean, you can speak to it. How does that feel? Not that you ever sat, by the way.
No, and I know I'm not the kind of person that could do that. I think in theory it works tremendously. It allows people to play a little mixed doubles, to have a work commitment, to school. In theory, 5-person teams work fantastic. But when it comes down to a provincial championship, a Canadian championship, things that really matter, it is very difficult to sit out.
Especially what Potts, I think, was in the mid-90s in her last game versus Newfoundland and Labrador, and then
playing tremendous.
Yeah. What a brush there to save that one for Andrea Kelly, and they had to go because they had to get it by. And obviously the hearts and the pin still available.
And that's Andrea's intern. She's got a little bit of a soft intern sometimes, and that means that it's going out of her hand. Here they don't want to wreck on the guard. They have to go by, but in the process of doing that, it slides a little bit deeper than they want it to. And because because it's deep, it allows Selena to ask Danielle just to peel off the guard. They've got some backing.
Oh, it's unfortunate. I want a guard, but.
Well, we can just come around top 4.
Like that?
Yeah.
Oh!
Thanks, Ash.
You're welcome. What's she asking? Hitting that? I don't like to. I'd rather do that.
I don't mind eliminating either.
They make that though. They're gonna have a couple in the house.
Well,
we
then
could
if
just
they
guard.
do.
I don't know.
I'd rather eliminate.
Marie-France LaRouche has the broom down for Laurie St. George over on sheet A.
Well, and I'm not sure, but knowing Lottie, she's probably playing the thin double with that rotation, trying to make sure that she can bring her stone in the 12-foot into play. It could be for 2.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Right through, and it has not been her morning. And those are all stolen points.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Quebec started the game with hammer, and Corinne Brown, 6 stolen points for that lead after 4.
Halfway.
Mine's good. Not quite tight. Hold on, Ash.
Second stone here for Andrea
Mine's
Kelly
good,
in 4.
easy. Oh.
Tight.
Oh, mine's
Well,
good.
Danielle
Mine's
removed
good.
2 of those guards, but she did leave
Oh,
one,
no,
so
no,
an
Kendra,
opportunity for
not
Northern
Kendra.
Ontario to plug access to the Hearts.
Ton of rotation on that one, Kathy.
I think that's a combat against her softer in turn.
Right.
More rotation, it will run straighter.
All right. Okay, you got this. Think this will do much here? No.
Updates continue now. Newfoundland, Labrador, and Saskatchewan, Kathy.
Well, those 2 stones at the back, Skylar loves to play hit weight. So if she can catch the one right behind the broom thin, the doubles potential. And you can see that red stone underneath the corner guard, hoping to bring it into play. And it's hard to tell if the guard that's tight to the house is in. Could be for 3.
Last time Saskatchewan won the Scotties, Amber Hall in 2011, and Amber is behind the bench. She's the alternate this week and helping as well, obviously with some coaching as well, mentoring this young team.
Okay, just clean it. Just clean it. Just clean it. Just the one.
Skylar Ackerman will get the 1 and a single. So a close game there over on sheet C.
Okay.
Because now, even if she makes, you hit the other one and then.
Yeah. She's got to come around, I think. Well, leave it out of your hand just because this is kind of a sensitive line.
Caitlin Laws, Manitoba, PEI, all locked up at 3. As it is Jane DiCarlo, the skip, throws the 3rd stones. Veronica Main throws the 4th rock on that team.
And she had to hit against 3 on her final stone. So the team from Manitoba putting a lot of pressure on PEI this morning.
Skip stones here in 4 in our feature.
We're tight.
Hold the line. Hold the line.
No. We need it to stop. Yeah, it's going to have to stop. We need it to stop. Sit.
Sit.
It will finally sit. Top 12.
Wow, just another one down. I thought you shot
Yeah, I
less
know.
than Andrea.
I wonder what that was. Hers is 15-6.
Wow.
Now I don't really like it.
15-6, Kathy. That's some of the fastest that we've heard.
It is very fast.
Did you get that, Andrea?
Yeah.
Did you get that?
15-3.
Yeah, because yours is 15-6, but they said it was higher. Well, they said it was higher higher than hers.
Consider the hit.
Yeah, I had 15-6.
If she does damage in the middle,
What's that?
if she does damage in the middle, consider the hit on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Andrea had a lot more rotation, if that means anything, Kath.
Well, the other reason for rotation is last night they sharpened the stones. A note went out to all the players. Mike said that he was really happy. Mike Merklinger, the head ice tech here, said he was very happy with the amount of curl, but they were clipping so much that they didn't like how much they were having to remove. So by sharpening the stones, they were trying to create the same ice conditions, but have clip less, and that will create good conditions for the weekend.
Selena Sturmay trying to give herself a chance here with hammer, will jam, and now that pinhole's covered. And it is still Northern Ontario lying the 2.
Well, that's a tough one for Selena. In running this stone back, you're hoping that you're going to make things scatter and create an opportunity for yourself to have a spot to draw to.
You thinking a little more ice with those, or what?
I mean, it was close.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah, I was thinking.
So basically right here.
Would we ever hit and roll off the side just to eliminate and leave that?
Yeah,
Even if you rolled into here. Like as long as you...
You're leaving her an open shot for 2.
Well, not if we roll in.
Yeah, if we roll in,
Well, it's better than a shot.
I don't mind that, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's smart.
Yeah?
That's smarter for sure, yeah.
Okay, so this is probably gonna run
You
a
want
bit, eh?
to, like, roll right into us.
Yeah. I want to roll
Yeah.
right in.
Yeah, what turn? Yeah.
I think here, like 8.5.
Okay.
Krista's
like that.
initial
That should
reaction
stay
was,
right
why
there,
don't I
okay.
throw a
I think
guard?
I like that.
The problem is if you don't throw a guard perfectly, the run back could bring in multiple points, because don't forget they've got this one, and this one. And so elimination is a great way to make sure
like
not you
8.5.
remove this. If you can roll underneath here, you're lying 3, and you really
think
are
it'll
forcing your
be
opponent into some
come up
trouble.
a hair only, but I try not to overthrow it.
Problem with the guard is if you don't make it perfect, there is definitely a run double for
Closer
3
to a
for
9.
Alberta.
Yeah, it's not firm.
No, Kendra, no.
9.
No.
McCarville beating Krista Byrne 6-4 in that provincial final. Back home in Northern Ontario. Her final stone here in 4. A little roll. And now the run back available. Not an easy shot, but there is a chance here for Selena Sturmay.
And that's the shot to play for sure.
Alrighty, slash it in there.
And she just threw a similar shot. And she said she was close. You heard her say to Schmiemann after her first rock. I always like asking degree difficulty here. Kathy, out of 10, where do you put this one?
You know what? It's not, the outcome is super high, but for Selena sitting in the hack, she's just trying to hit 3/4, just 7/8 of this stone to drive it back.
You didn't give me an answer. Final stone, Sturmay, run it back, and she'll clip her red, and I think that's a steal of 2.
Sure is.
After having such a wonderful start, yet to trail the entire Scotties. Not her morning thus far. All McCarville up by 5. Welcome back to Calgary. Wonderful venue, Winsport, for this year's Scotties. And a tough one, though, for the home province thus far. And as you can see, Krista McCarville now 4 stolen points over the last 2 ends for a 6-1 advantage. So Selena Sturmay trying to battle back here with Hammer, throwing the red stones. And Kathy, just want to say a thank you. We know that it's our Canadian Women's Curling Championship on TSN, but on our YouTube channel, we're available right across the world. So we say thank you to our viewers that have been watching. I know on a personal level, we have a lot of family, friends, and people in Mazatlan, Mexico, and they'll sit around the palapa and they will watch our coverage on TSN. Curling fans, they're everywhere, so we appreciate all of you watching from wherever you are.
We love this championship, and to be able to share that is awesome.
So,
For Selena Sturmay and her team, this is uncharted territory for them this week. You always talk about it as a team. You don't expect to go through a field like we have here undefeated, and that's a great thing to say, but when you've run up some wins, it's all of a sudden difficult to look at the scoreboard and see that you are trailing. But what an opportunity it is for Alberta to see what kind of fight they have in them and to get the most out of this game. It is not over by a long shot, and so you find a way to start to score 2. That'll half the score at the break.
Okay, whoa, it's up. Okay. 14-9.
And this really is the first time we've seen Alberta struggle.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you want to take something you know, from this and try to build. It's like, okay, we're down in a game. You know, we're going to probably be down in a game down the line. And what do we do? How to respond? And, you know, what can we do for our coach here, Ted Appelman, who's here behind the bench?
And you talked about it, Brian, already, that up until this game, Alberta started with last rock. So they always had that comfort. They always got ahead early. And in some cases, the degree of difficulty for Selena has been pretty high. But that's a tribute also to Northern Ontario, who's playing very well.
Ted!
I almost like, okay.
That's good, Kendra.
10.
And it is really that time of the week for McCarville, isn't it? And when you go back in recent appearances for Krista and this team, the last 7, 8-3 record, 8-4, 8-4, 8-4, and then the last 3, 9-5 records. So I mean, just consistency for Krista.
Hard, like you gotta go.
Hard.
Go.
Really hard. Okay, good sweeping.
Hard to avoid that jam, and they will.
9.5. 9.5.
Did I throw it okay?
Well, with that rollout, it provides an opportunity for Desiree to ignore the stone in the back of the forefoot and use the corner guard. Try to get something tucked behind and create some offense. You can always worry about the stone in the house later.
There too.
Close there.
Clean. He's on the line. Hard line. Hard line. Line's good. Top 8. Hard. Hard. It's good. Top 8. Hard. Whoa. Gotta go for speed.
Still fighting and whoa. Whoa. We're there.
Well done.
That's how you use that corner guard.
High five.
We've talked about the range of Andrea from 74 coming into this game to 90%.
Good.
Some very good games, some very average games. But when you don't compete on a lot, there is a settling in period here at the Scotties, getting comfortable with not the work ethic you talked about, Muddy. They practice really hard. They're technically strong. They don't hesitate to spend time out there, but game situations are different than practice. But that is a number that we have not seen from her this week. I talked about her consistency. No game lower than 80% before this morning.
High. Hard. High. Hard. High. Over and off. 8-5.
Well, it's a long guard, but it does its job.
Updates continue, and we'll check in on Manitoba and PEI. And my goodness, there it looks like 1, 2, 3.
I do think you're right.
In the house.
What an opportunity to break this game open. Looking for full 12 for the 4th point.
Well, for a line.
Pretty nice for a skip. That means either something went wrong that your
something
opponent
went
helped,
wrong.
or something went right
Something
for
went
you.
wrong. I can tell you that for
When
free.
you're in the hack, and you know what, it's been tough. A tough start for Caitlin Laws, so it's nice when you settle in the hack. You got the draw for the 4, and there you go. 7-3 advantage.
I think those two
Cannot
are closer
afford
matched.
another loss, Caitlin Laws.
So Danielle looking to put that guard back up top, I believe.
I thought a little light.
Actually, with this ice, she's playing the
Line's
freeze.
good. Top 4. We're really close. Gotta go. T. Line's great. T. Gotta stay on it for line. Hard. We're close. Top 4 T. Hard.
Okay, you said that
Hard.
Quebec likes rocks in play here,
Hard.
Kathy. We got a few here in 5.
Hard.
Well, Marie-France is sitting on a rock. There is a red Quebec stone underneath her. And that is shot stone, it appears. Looks like she's trying to get to the nose of the BC stone that will connect with her own and remove second shot. I believe this is a shot for 3.
All those points, those 6 from Corinne Brown, stolen points in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, they were trying, hoping to get that little clip.
Yellow, red, yellow.
Yeah, they'll take the single, and she's on the board. So 6-1. Brown leads.
Frustrating morning.
I don't love this catch on the side.
No. All right.
All right, try it. Yeah.
Well, you heard the try it, so trying to hit it around where Andrea's broom is, run across, chip the red stone that's almost frozen out. There's some really good numbers.
Really hard.
Nice on the hits thus far,
Gotta go. Hard.
but right out of her hand.
Okay, whoa. Hey. Okay,
Nose hit for Krista.
that's fine. Yeah.
My first thought was freeze to the middle. But yeah.
I don't hate freezing.
Guess if anything, you probably want to stay a hair
You can
high.
bump the hair
so you can
too?
lost
Yeah.
that's going there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with this too. We probably want to be back here if that's the case.
I just think if she goes nose, our end's probably over, hey?
Yeah.
You almost have to go
Okay.
here.
I agree,
Yours
Selena.
will curl a little more.
Yeah.
You can throw it around the
There.
corner,
That was that
but
the
then if
same as what I
Krista
had?
comes on top
That's
of you,
about
you've
2
got
broom heads
nothing.
more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they talked initially about, do we consider going here? You can make that stone perfect, but then Krista McCarville comes down, she plays the hit on that stone. Whoops,
Like a
oh,
managed
she's got a
there.
lot of rocks. Me and Ron Burgundy.
4-8 will get
Plays
those
that
two.
stone back and she's sitting on top, and then you've got the hearts to draw to. If instead you come right on top of the nose, you're lying 2, and for Krista to make any hit, if you're sitting on top of each other, it's going to drive back on her own, and that has been the story right there.
Line's good. Close
Struggled
there.
with draws
You can
and
wait
hits.
there right now. Don't have to.
In fairness to her, though, some of her degree of difficulty has been extremely high.
Back 4. Whoa. Close. We're back 4. Close. Yep. Back 4. Curl.
A little tap, and
14.
for now, we'll lie 2.
Definitely this one, and then. Okay.
And Kathy, it's a long week. I mean, they came out of the gates. I don't know if anyone expected them to have the start they had. Perfect thus far. You're perfect coming to Wednesday. I mean, there's going to be blips. It's a long week, and it happens to the best of them.
Yeah.
You're playing a very good team, so your degree of difficulty is higher, but you heard Danielle say to her that was the most positive you've been, which means she's really thrown at the broom with maybe a little bit of a set, so it will run straighter. That's why it didn't curl as much as they wanted.
I think this has been bugging me all game. Yeah.
I know. Why is it right there? Okay, you got it, Krista.
So are we expecting a rocket here?
She's playing hard for the nose, the crotch to get both of them to go, but the key even is if she gets the one on the center line and sticks around.
Krista McCarville here in 5. Her final stone gets them both moving. But an opportunity here to score 2 and 5 for Team Alberta.
She catches it just too thick. They called right out of her hand, which makes me think maybe she got a little bit tight.
I know, yeah.
So watch where it hits. It hits that center line one too fat, so it doesn't have enough oomph to come off and push that red stone farther. You hit it a little bit thinner, it connects with the other one with much more solidness, and then it's gone. So from out of nowhere, An opportunity for 2.
Hasn't been able to convert on her last 3 hammers, but an opportunity here. Selena Sturmay get back in this game. Final stone in 5.
Queen! 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 11! Queen! Curl! Curl! Curl!
Paige Pathway, a little curl
Queen!
to finish this off. And a nice bounce back end and shot as the skipper, Selena Sturmay, able to put up a pair. 6-3, McCarville leads. That is a gorgeous look. Canada Winter Park. You see the bobsled track going down the hill. And you see us in the distance. Winsport on your left. That's the Trans-Canada Highway. You take that, you'll end up in Canmore, Banff. Just a beautiful part of our country here in Canada. Getting closer to championship weekend, the host province. Here's Ted Appleman, the coach. Trying to provide a little bit of guidance, inspiration to get back in this game. Kathy, it brings us to our numbers after 5.
Well, the story really was the Northern Ontario team, how strong they came out, converting with hammer both times that they have had, and then that inability to make the double takeout and that steal of 2, that was absolutely huge. And what is important to note is right now, every player on Northern Ontario is a plus, at least 5% or better than their opponents on Alberta.
After 5, brought to you by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. Krista McCarville chatting things over. A little snack at the half. As you see Sarah Potts, who is the alternate for this game. Great performance thus far for Northern Ontario. Final 5 coming up next as we step aside from Calgary.
The 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Kruger Products, the softest and strongest supporters for over 40 years. By New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. By Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue. And by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada.
Wednesday morning in Calgary. A cute little fan watching our coverage. Yeah, hi. That's probably more interesting than us.
She's like, buddy, I don't care about you.
Yeah, which is fair, which I've heard before. Great to have fans in the building. Glad you're watching our coverage here as we look at the sheets across the ice here. Draw 13, Kat.
Well, it has been all Corinne Brown stealing points in that game. The risks that Lori takes early makes her shots so tough. Caitlin Laws is making the right shot at the right time in a very strong performance against PEI. Ackerman, well, that has been a great story, except her second and her third are struggling, and that is making it tough for her. And Stacey Curtis making so many shots, and we know about our feature game conversion rate, perfect for McCarville. And the first time without hammer may have unsettled the Alberta team just a bit.
All the action right here on TSN, right up through Sunday, championship weekend.
Look at that, he comes with toys and phonics. And what about the curl?
Well, a little bit shy, that's okay. There you are. Got a stuffy, ready to roll. Final 5 here inside Winsport, which is a great facility. Opened up here in 2011. Beautiful place to call some curling in the Canadian Women's Curling Championship. There you go, Alberta with their first 2 on the board in 5. They trail by 3, and it is Krista McCarville with hammer here in 6.
Well, I have a lot of respect for Ted Appleman, and just a great curler
15.
In his own right, and has just such a great approach with this Alberta team. You saw his notebook there, Muddy. He would have been talking about things that he's noticed, maybe if they're out of rhythm, what they need to do in the second half. And you come in here knowing that you've just scored 2, you've halved the difference of the score. Force your opponent, take 2, force your opponent, take 2, and all of a sudden you are right back in this game.
Curl, curl. Top 4. Curl. Curl. Top 4. Curl, curl, curl. Hard.
Whoa, 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 whoa. 14-4. Just heavy.
That throw just
9.5.
Sorry.
9.5.
Sorry, 9.5?
9.5.
Yeah. Okay, good throw.
Trying to get to the nose, make both of these stones go away.
Whoa! 9. Whoa!
Ash! Straight!
Whoa,
Ash! Ash!
straight, hard! Whoa, clean,
Whoa!
Watch your roll, Ash.
You got it? Go, go,
One
go, go,
red
go.
gone, second red spinning and gone as well.
Nice shot.
Very nice shot by Kendra. Needs to get really near the nose to make them both go, just cleaning it in. And they are both gone.
Kendra with Krista for both those two finals, losing once to Carrie Enerson and once to Chelsea Carey.
Desiree chasing the double.
Desiree Haas answers. Nice double as well here in 6.
Well, and a bit of a bad break and jamming on that back stone.
We don't need to stick, really.
No. Go, same weight.
Yep. Well,
8.5.
just peel.
Well,
Oh, see.
that was 8.7. 8.7.
Well, what
She wants the same weight.
Oh, okay.
Same weight is good.
Why don't we just shoot peel? What am I shooting?
Same weight.
Okay.
It is so hard. We can hear very clearly in the microphones, but it is a very busy morning. Lots of school kids in the building, lots of chatter. And of course, you've got 3 other sheets going on. And so that was a lot of time if you're short on a clock to discuss weight for appeal.
Curl. Curl.
My conversation earlier this week with Kate Cameron, who was in the bubble as well as a lot of these players were, and she said the weirdest thing was the bubble, obviously no fans, really no one in here but the players and us broadcasting, the single sheet games. Because at least like when all 4 in play, you could hear ambient sounds and yelling and whatever, but those the single sheet games, and she said that was pretty weird. Update time. Caitlin Laws can't afford another loss, and she's had a nice game here versus PEI.
She has, but Veronica has an opportunity for 2 in this end. She is second shot, wide open. Try to get to the nose and stay right there.
Whoa, gotta stop.
And this is a team that really is better than their record. I have watched almost all of, well, I've watched all of their games, and there have been some ends that they've gotten into some trouble. But the last rock thrower, Veronica, has made a lot of shots this week. Like that one.
Beautiful. Hit and stick for 2. So we're focused on Pool A, Group A here, Kathy. And Caitlin Laws, actually, when it's that last stone throw to the button, right now she is the best team in that particular group. And that could be key down the stretch. The second tiebreaker, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, and no tiebreakers, obviously, at this year's Scotties with the format. So before every game, you throw to the button for hammer, and Caitlin right now in her team number 1, Corinne Brown, 2, and again, Krista McCarville, who's battling for a playoff spot. Selena Sturmay, we know if she wins, she is in anyways. If she wins, she's into the at least first or second spot, depending on how things play out.
Well, it's huge for Caitlin Laws. If there is a position where there's 2 teams tied, head-to-head matters. But if there is a 3-way tie, they go to your draw to the button, and that could be enough with her first-rate ranking right now to put her through and send others home.
Hard.
Hard.
You're good.
Yep.
Hard.
Whoa. 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 Clean, clean, clean.
This is not the run back, it's a straight
So
peel.
subtle, eh? Her. It's good.
Kathy, Laws McCarville will be the last matchup in round robin play of this side as well, so that could end up being a massive game. We just showed you the draw to the button numbers as well.
No, that could be for this spot to go through.
No, I think she's coming in.
Okay. So stay.
Update time over on sheet C, Kathy.
Yeah.
I don't know who is shot. I think it is Saskatchewan.
Quite a bit more ice.
It looks like red to me and
Yeah, I
Ackerman.
think it
Well,
is.
yeah, I'll go with you, Kath, sure.
So in that case, well, regardless of who is shot, it is a draw to the hearts for either one or two. It does look like this would be for the second point.
And that would be for the lead if Skylar Ackerman can be successful, setting up for the in-turn draw over there in 6, final stone. In our feature, Selena Sturmay, her rock on the way. And she's coming into the house.
And Selena trying to get another one in there to make sure she doesn't give up 3.
Sturmay will settle, back hearts for shot stone. In the meantime, Ackerman, yeah, that's way out there.
Yeah.
Not going to curl up, so we'll just let them confirm. Yeah, the 1, okay. So it is just the single and a 4-4 tie on sheet C.
Oh, sorry.
Well, so goes the day for Selena Sturmay, just that little bit off. We saw last stand her draw did not curl as much, and this time it did not
like the
either. Her
outturn.
weight's great.
Because we've seen it.
Because of the angle, this is a nose hit double.
8.5.
Well, a common theme every time sheet A, Kathy, a lot of stones in play again. Final stone on the way for Corinne Brown.
And much like our last update, really difficult to see who is shot between BC and Quebec. This is a draw to the hearts. Needs hearts.
On our feature, Krista McCarville trying to run it back, and she'll clip the yellow. In the meantime, in the update sheet, that will go a little too far, and now we'll decide, as Marie-France LaRouche looks it over, who is shot stone there on sheet A.
Did it stop in time?
Yeah, one yellow.
So it is 1 for Brown and BC, and a commanding lead there.
I think we
And
go
back to our feature.
Oh, thank you.
Schmiemann and Sturmay talk things over.
I think, yeah, just touching center.
Just so she can't dig it out
Yeah.
super easy.
Yeah. I still like the out, I think.
Okay.
Though.
And there's a couple of options here. You can play the guard as they are. You
Straight guarding
could
this is
choose
terrible.
to play the hit and roll to lie 2. But given the score where it is in this game, you're looking to steal points and not to force your opponent.
Yeah. I think you want to like just touch center.
Okay.
Wherever that is. I think I'm going to try and throw it like close, just past halfway. I like that.
You know, you talked about what you could pick up maybe from a Krista McCarville. Selena had that comment, you know, on taking on some of the top players. What Krista told me is what she's learned the most is the mental fatigue. When she first started at the Scotties, wasn't prepared for it and how it could catch up to you, especially maybe this time of the week. And she's done a lot better job, Krista has, of managing her energy over a long week.
Well, you have to remember, too, that in a player like Krista, because they do not travel extensively, she's not in that mental grind. When you go to practice, you're focused, but it's not always looking at stone positions and what do you leave. And also, this is 10 ends. Nowhere on the tour do you play 10 ends until you get to a provincial or national championship.
That really died. I like started to sweep and I was like, oh, it's coming off. I know, I'm like, okay, I'm just
I
going
think
to
like 14-7 or you say 14-5?
So this is the force. Had she chosen to hit and roll, it would also have been the force, but it would have been an easier shot for Krista McCarville. Now she needs the hearts.
there.
Okay, was my thought. Okay.
88% on her intern draw so far on this Wednesday morning. Krista McCarville.
Line's really good.
Line's great, close, yep.
Line's good. Line's good.
Hard line.
Line's good.
You hear line's good, and then you hear hard line. Don't forget about the weight. How is the weight? And it is perfect. Krista McCarville right to the pin.
Beautiful shot.
Finding her groove here in Calgary. She leads by 4.
Back here. Should we have hidden blocks?
Calgary, Alberta, home to the Calgary Flames. A new building coming as well to replace the Saddle Dome in the near future. The Bull River coming from the Rocky Mountains. It is a gorgeous place to be. Great place to be as well inside our building, Winsport. Fans in the crowd. I think I had a slider appearance somewhere. I think he's in the house this morning as well. Kids having a great time watching all the action live here in Calgary. Our feature, Krista McCarville, Northern Ontario, taking on Selena Sturmay, Team Alberta, and the first real bump in the road so far at the Scotties for this Alberta side. Nice draw right to the pin for Krista McCarville. She leads again by 4 with action underway here in 7. It is Alberta Hammer and the Red Rocks.
Well, the one thing that you know with the 5-rock rule is that there will be rocks in play. Your opponent cannot dictate a clean front, and so that's what Alberta and Selena and her team can use to try to generate some offense.
You got this.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like a smidge less.
Yeah.
So planning on tapping that front stone back and really wanting to make sure Selena is that she will have access to the 4-foot on her last shot.
Curl. Curl. We're a little solid. Curl. Whoa, straight. Straight. Solid hack. Okay, feels corner.
Doesn't really want that stone to go out. Selena was hoping it would stick around at the back of the house. Just a little bit of extra weight by Desiree. If their stones are at the back, there's something that your opponent can jam against, that you can freeze to.
She's saying they're going to go around. That's fine. Okay. That's nice. Oh, geez.
Get the landing gear settled and rip the corner guard.
Queen.
What does that feel like though, Kathy, as a player? You're coming out, you're like, oh boy.
Well, you know what, especially on arena ice, it is extremely fast underfoot. That's one of the best ways to differentiate between a curling club ice and an arena ice. And you're shooting out there and all of a sudden you're in the wrong target. And so you're fighting the whole time to get it back at the broom as close as you can.
You know, I've heard you guys describe it so many times, but and I had the opportunity to slide out on arena ice, you cannot believe how fast the hog line comes at you.
Yes.
It's hard to explain, but you're right. It is slick in arena ice.
Ice is ice, but it really isn't.
I think it's a little early for this. Same weight.
It gives him 5 rocks.
Same weight.
Yeah. I think she's trying to use that yellow one as a guard too, essentially.
Yeah. Like a hair less weight though, hey? Like
Just a hair, yeah. I think with this rock you can throw similar, honestly, Des.
So with that corner guard gone, Alberta trying to use anything that they can and asking Desiree to go around the stone that is in the top of the 12 towards the back of the house. Use it as a guard. This is running very straight.
And now it's the raised tab. Shot stone, top 4.
Plan.
There's a plan A, B, C, and D, and you need a plan, Kathy. It's all right.
Pick the. You can do that, no?
Great, whatever she wants.
I thought we.
Peel.
Want to peel?
Yeah.
I don't mind peeling the one in the 4
pick the one in the 4 foot.
Okay, they like just picking the one in the 4. Sorry.
10.5.
I don't think we need to stick though.
No.
So here's the difference with Sarah Potts out of the order. You have a third who's sitting in the hack. You have Kendra Lilly, who has been playing third for Krista. And then Sarah Potts is back there with Rick Lang, and they are very much on the same page. If Sarah were on the ice, she would be running down and talking about decision making. It almost feels like they're a little uncertain, and that's unusual for Krista, but we talk about new teams taking time to gel and find roles. And for this team, this is their first year together.
Goes back to the conversation I had with Krista about this. You know what? Everybody on the team felt something had to change, so everyone bought in. Because, listen, you made 2 finals. You've been to the Scotties. We talked about the consistency, so close, the podiums. But that medal they really want is golden. And they felt this was the change that had to come, and here we are.
Heavy, heavy, heavy. Oh, there right now. Where? Back 4. You gotta go.
And it's a really good team, this Northern Ontario. They're just finding their roles and who has a voice when.
Back 4. Whoa, whoa. We're back 8 even. Back 4. Just back 4. Back 4. No, not. Do not just. I can play this. Yeah.
I think she can see almost all.
Same weight.
Same weight.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the view from the hack. Andrea can get all of that and a roll inside.
Similar. Clean. 9. Clean. 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 8-4. 8-4.
Doesn't even look like that.
Oh, sorry. Good shot.
Hers like are floating.
It's 8-4.
Oh. Okay.
8-4 is hard.
Okay, I'll give you a little bit
That's a
less.
lot of weight. So with that Northern Ontario stone at the back of the forefoot and the center guard, Danielle going around.
Line's good, room.
Does not want to be locked onto that back stone.
Just biting top 4. Top 4. Top 4. Just biting top 4. Full 4. Curl a little bit. Curl. Full. Nice.
Little finish.
Very nice.
Top hearts and shot stone right now, Team Alberta.
4-7.
Really nice. Good job.
It's so incredible, Kathy, this game and this championship. It wasn't that long ago, the first few games, you heard this young woman say, I got no idea what's going on. I got no feel. Nothing feels right. I don't have my game. You don't recognize that person anymore.
No.
Krista McCarville's found it.
And you knew that she would, but it was the frustration evident on her face. And we heard her saying to Rick Lang, I just have no feel. And as a skip who is a touch player and a great touch player, that's pretty uncomfortable to feel that way. Oh, no.
And the broadcaster kiss of death. And that opens up the door for Alberta. She has made some nice shots, though, this game. And that brings us to the key shot, brought to you by BKT Tires, growing together.
Well, we talk about Krista being a great touch player, and we talked about earlier in the week just now, Brian, about how she didn't have the feel. She couldn't find draw weight, didn't know what it felt like, and that's so uncomfortable. But when Selena Sturmay throws the guard and says, okay, I'm going to force you, you got to get to the hearts if you're going to score this end, Krista McCarville says, okay.
Momentum, right? That's just a key shot at a right time and keep the momentum on your team.
Do you need more than this draw? A little bit, yeah. Okay. It's like a foot or 2. Okay.
Update time, Northern Newfoundland and Labrador taking on Team Saskatchewan, Kathy.
That is not a nice look for Stacey Curtis. Those 3 stones, boy, Ackerman putting a lot of pressure this morning. With this broom, it looks like she's going to draw, but I think she's in the hack having second thoughts. The way those guards are set up,
Curl.
if you get by the top one
Curl,
with
curl,
draw
curl,
weight,
curl, curl.
I'm not convinced that you'll get by the second one. So this is likely going to be a tap
13-4.
of the stone on the right to maybe concede the single.
On our feature, you saw Selena. The little tap actually lies 2, and now Krista's lining up the double.
Stay with it.
Stacey Curtis, final stone on the way in 7, and it is a tough situation right now for Newfoundland and Labrador. A wall of red.
Trying to get to the face.
And will wick off and won't spin back in. That is a big steal of 3 for Scott or Ackerman. A 7-4 advantage. Team Saskatchewan. So she just threw it down this path. With the first stone was trying to remove the center line guard, and now a chance to remove some red granite. Her final stone in 7.
Looking to hit it on the outside and make the double to line 3.
Hard.
Gotta try get a piece though again.
Okay.
Spinning and spinning. She gets the one red to go, but it will be the draw for 2. And they keep picking away, Kathy. You talked about it after 5. Keep scratching and clawing back. And
Good try. Really close.
again, a chance to get back in this game.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do that either.
That spot is so.
And that would have been the plan by Ted Appelman. Give them 1, take 2. Well, they forced to 1, and now they've got a chance for 2 to bring it within 2.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's really similar.
Okay.
Think
Maybe
you can
like 4 feet less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even 5's fine.
Line's good. All there right now.
I think you're cleaning.
You're back 12. Okay. Coming off. Curl good.
Needs 4 foot.
Curl if you're heavy.
Big shot here. Final stone in 7.
Line's
Selena
good. Straight
Sturmay
draw,
to get
straight
back
draw.
in this game.
Full 4.
You hear? Full 4.
Hard page.
Need it. Want it.
Hard page.
And got it. Full 4. Nice draw for 2 for Team Alberta. Don't go anywhere. Alberta within 2. Our feature at the Scotties. There's a look at the lead for Alberta. Paige Papley leads stones on the way here in 8. And a big 2 on the board for Alberta within 2. It is Northern Ontario with hammer now here in 8 as they are throwing the yellow stones.
Well, that is a big 2 on the board for Alberta, puts them right back in, and starting to see a little bit of difference in the Alberta players. I mentioned after 5 that there was a plus at every position for Northern Ontario. It's now starting to rise, the Alberta numbers. The seconds are now even, and what that means is through the order, Selena's going to have a little bit easier shots. She had some difficult ones the first 5.
No, don't have to curl it. Don't have to curl it.
Sit.
14 and a half. Oh my goodness.
Nice shot.
Foot.
She is having a game as Ashley
You got
Sipola,
it.
lovely numbers, 91%.
And again, huge props to Ashley, the only player on the team that switches positions based on the rotation.
Her and Krista in Thunder Bay. The Scotties back to Thunder Bay
Yes,
next year.
I had the opportunity to play a Scotties in Thunder Bay, and it was a wonderful, wonderful week. Lots of curling fans in Northern Ontario.
Thunder Bay, Great Lakes, great curlers, NHL players. They produce out of there at a pretty high clip.
And that's what I was talking about. Desiree was considerably lower than Kendra earlier, has really brought her numbers up. Nothing to choose in terms of an advantage right now.
As we update the scores, and all the leaders have 7 points thus far.
That is so interesting, even on our
There you
game.
go. Speaking of numbers, Kathy, I know we like to have a good time, and you like to poke fun at me, which is great. And I'm gonna help you out with that.
Okay.
So I was, chatting about, the 24 on the jerseys.
Yes.
The players have 24 on their jerseys, as you'll notice, and I wasn't really sure why, but it's the year 2024.
Yes, it is.
So
it has been since January.
You can go with that. You can. That's confirmed, and you can report that back to your people back home in Manitoba.
Next year, it's going to be.
It's going to be 2025. So look at that. See, 24. There you go.
Yeah.
The things you learn from the morning show.
Looking for the double peel, get rid of both of those guards and open up the path to the forefoot with last rock.
And Kendra just misses clipping that second Redstone shooter, though, in the wings now. Who shot Kathy?
I don't know.
It's red?
What the hell happened on that one?
Oh, I was going to say.
It's yellow?
We were on it, and then it was like
50-50 chance.
Well, no, we were on it. She called it right out of my hand.
It's pretty close.
Listen, I told you what year it was. You got to tell me at least something here.
Line's good. No ad.
Looking for another guard. It is full steal mode for Alberta.
Line's good. We're over. Got a curl, Paige. Hard, Paige. Hard, Paige. Go, go, go. Hard.
Oh, a little bit more, and it's just, there's guards, and then there's high guards, Kathy. And that's that one.
Well, the great news about that guard is really tough to make the double because the distance between the two is so long.
If you get the top one, no? You can try it.
No? Yeah?
I can just try the top. Take the top one.
Top one?
Yeah, if we just nudge it or something.
Update time again. Let's visit sheet B, Kathy.
Well, Caitlin's initial thought was she went up to the tee line, was going to play the draw for the single, but I think that it's the risk versus reward. It is so far back in the house, so now they've decided to throw just quiet weight, try to get the finish by the guard, because if she's able to tap it back, it's a big four. She's already scored one.
Probably lights out. Olympic gold medalist with Jennifer Jones and John Morris as well in the mixed doubles competition.
Girl. Hi, girl. You got it. Josh, you got it.
Jocelyn Peterman trying to carve and knife it over, keep it moving, a little more curl. Loses the shooter, but that's pretty good though. She'll score her three. And that's a 5-point lead over on sheet B. Must win for Caitlin Loss.
Okay. Probably close to half. Yeah. Okay. Just max weight. Yeah. Good.
You didn't see anything for a while on our sheet because Selena ran down to the other end to talk to her team. You saw Krista taking a look to see who is shot. I think they're not quite sure at this point. But for Alberta, the discussion was, do we throw one more guard? And the decision is to come in.
Yep. Top four. Yep. Top four. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Really curling, starting to dig in, and it'll settle top 8.
I don't think they know.
Now Krista's looking over too to see who shot still. She thinks it's yellow, I believe, as we look at the thirds numbers, and Andrea Kelly the advantage this morning.
By a considerable amount, and considering the story coming in was that Danielle had not thrown less than an 80% game. This is a little bit off mark for her, but some wonderful numbers by Andrea.
Yep. Hard.
Andrea Kelly trying to clean things up. Red Stones run it back.
Go, go, go.
And both red moving.
It's actually not like
off the button and 4-foot area.
It's not terrible.
It isn't terrible.
You got it.
Krista had tapped the Yellowstone before, indicating that they were shot. This was the peel attempt. Catches it a little bit too thin.
I just don't know what the other one is. 4.
It is okay, Andrea. The way they were set up before, there was going to be a very small piece of real estate for Krista to draw to if she even had that chance. Now there's a little bit more of an open house.
We have to just play a tap. Kind of tap and
So
roll.
she is. Or like if she really overbends it, I wonder if you just.
You talked about this team and Andrea, the new addition. They
Line's good.
met in the Toronto area a few times, Winnipeg to practice together. They flew Andrea into Thunder Bay a few times to work together as well, doing the best considering the situation.
Curl, T. Curl, T-line. Back.
That's Desiree Haas trying to carve that in.
Keep going, keep going, keep
Trying to
going,
find a
keep
way to
going,
steal
keep
here
going.
an 8, and that will settle. Back button, and they sit 2 for now with outs. Player comparisons are brought to you by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. And you see a 3% difference right now.
Well, and props to Selena, if you remember, she was very low before, so she's brought herself up to a non-plus situation, which means that she's even
I like that too.
with Krista McCarville.
Unless to make room for, like, you mean she.
I know, but then could she? Well, I guess if tapping it probably like 6 inches,
I
half
got
a foot.
14.8 on that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we want to tap it a little.
Okay.
So
Just a bit. Oh, wow.
there's
Like
a big
6
touch
inches,
more.
a foot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like a foot.
You want to tap it a foot or at least 8 inches so that you give yourself some space to
Back
try to
four.
score a
Back
second
four.
point if it's
Easy,
available.
easy,
If you just
easy.
freeze on top,
Back
they sit on top
four.
of
Back
you and
four.
you're locked into one.
Curl, curl, curl.
This one is way out there,
Curl
Kathy.
hard.
Sure is.
Lean on it, hard, hard, hard. You got to get it there.
This is that knifing, that carving, trying to get it over.
Hard. Okay. Okay.
And not shot Stone.
Well, and by how much she tapped it, just more weight than she wanted to throw.
What was that?
Just
didn't
jumped
get
it and then it doesn't move.
Jumped it. Well, she said yes line, didn't she?
Yeah.
Just can't jump those spots. They're just so straight.
Did you do want to throw that much though?
Well, I was thinking back 8 or back
Yeah.
4 at least.
Yeah. We
Same
can
weight,
touch
yeah.
the yellow
Same
hair.
weight to her hair less. I'm not gonna give you any more.
Remember what's at stake here for Alberta. A win
I think
for
the
Selena
time shot is
Sturmay, and
actually
she
your
is
plan B. I think you
qualified
just wanna sleep it
for the
top.
playoffs, and at
The shot
worst
wall.
would be the 1 or 2 seed in the group. So a massive morning here for Sturmay and company.
Line's good. The light I thought we're close. To the light. Line's good.
Right now, she does have the shot rocked.
Wait, only.
Back button, Team Alberta.
Room.
Trying to come down right on top of her own and lock off the hearts and be frozen.
It's out there again as well, Kathy.
It's good.
Needs to finish up hard.
Gotta curl, gotta curl, gotta curl.
A little bit more finish, and they'll bump the yellow. I think it's still red shot Stone as we now peek in on sheet A. And a 7-3 advantage here for BC.
Well, and for the first time that we have done updates, it has been advantage Quebec lying 3. So for Corinne Brown trying to get to the nose of the shot, Stone just stick right there for the single.
Meantime, in our feature, it's going to be the intern draw for Krista McCarville and try play that little tap and score her 2.
Doesn't have to tap it back much.
Corinne Brown. Final Stone in 8. Good scrub, clean, nice hit and stick.
One yellow?
And 1 yellow on the board.
Good game, good luck.
And that'll be handshakes.
Good luck. Good game, good luck.
As Louis St. George and Team Quebec, that is a tough loss to take as they're trying to fight their way into the playoffs. And a happy birthday, by the way, to Jamie Sinclair, who's on the bench for Quebec in this game. It's her birthday today.
Yeah,
but a win for Brown and BC.
Trying to make this stone move enough to touch it.
Oh, and again, caught with the weight, Kathy, and did they move it enough?
They did not.
They did not.
Is it red?
Yeah.
So back-to-back shots, McCarville and the weight, and the catches are there. Alberta, the fight continues. They're not going anywhere. Neither are we. It's a 1-point game. It is going to be a great couple weeks. The Montana's Brier coming up. Excited for that. The Scotties were right in the heart of it now. Wednesday morning, playoffs looming. Everyone pushing to try make the playoffs. Top 6 teams, top 3 from each pool will advance in Alberta. Look at the story here, Kathy. Obviously, what a start. It was 6-1. Northern Ontario and Alberta has found a way to get within 1.
Well, this seems to be the rebound sheet, Muddy. We did the Kerry Galusha, Joanne Rizzo combination game the other day. They were up, or they were down 7 and came back. And it just is a testament to the fight of this Alberta team. They're not prepared to go away. And it was interesting on Krista's first one, she thought it just tracked in that spot. And you heard Andrea say to her, did you mean to throw that kind of weight? It's just a gentle suggestion that maybe it was a little bit more weight than she thought. And I think the same thing happened on the second, because a little bit less, it curls over, and she's got her 2, but all of a sudden there's a 1-point difference.
And I think, Kathy, it speaks to now, you know, the 5-rock rule, the no ticks now available, and what you can do and what's possible to get back in a game. I remember when I was a youngster growing up, and there was none of those rules. It was bang, 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 2-1 game, 2-1 final. And
if you watched a game and somebody was up 1 with, you just kind of either shut the TV off or moved on, because it was such a heavy favorite. That team was going to win, and now it just keeps you on the edge of your seat right to the end.
Top 4, top 8.
Curl. Curl, curl, curl. Hard, go, go, go. Good sweeping.
Shot.
5.
we talked about Alberta.
It's really high, though.
Win, and they are in. We know that. And if you look at the schedule for Sturmay, obviously, the teams they've already gone through, I mean, they've gone through a tough part of the schedule already. Look at the wins against Anderson, against Saskatchewan, Quebec. They started with that win against Caitlin Loss, so putting themselves in a great position. And for McCarville, they'll finish with Louis St. George and Loss. So if McCarville can't hang on here, man, it's going to get sticky down the stretch.
Well, it is, because even though Quebec had a loss this morning, that is a good team that plays every game with so much intensity. And then you talk about Caitlin Law as a slow start for her, but Muddy, she is getting stronger and stronger, and she is the last opponent for McCarville.
We saw, remember, we showed you earlier in this broadcast, if you're just joining us, Caitlin Law is that last draw to the button. Her numbers are the best on this side, and that could be a difference maker. That's the second tiebreaker after the head-to-head.
Even's okay. Close to even. Even.
Well, Northern Ontario would love to blank this end and have a 1-point edge, and Hammer coming home. And now that she is in a position to remove stones, expect to see a lot of granite flying.
So this is straight spot.
Yep.
Guys have a hair less. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard. Andrea. Oh. Hard. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh boy.
And that red stone, Alberta still there, shot rock, top 4.
Well, the exchange did not work out. Not only did she get rid of shot stone, but left the guards up front. And now Alberta will just go into full protective mode.
It really has been a tale of 2 games here. The first 5, man, Northern Ontario was rocking, and now you can feel Alberta definitely with momentum. As Schmiemann delivers, let's check in again on sheet B.
Well, the good news is that it is a wide open shot for Veronica. The bad news is it's against 4.
And it's for 1. Yeah. So not to pile it on there, but down by 5. Final stone on the way.
Hard.
And our feature. 2 in there now for Team Alberta.
Very nice.
And a nice hit and stick. And the single for PEI. The 4th rock thrower on that team, Veronica Main, and that'll be handshakes. So that was a must-have and a must-win, and successful. Caitlin Laws improves to 3-3 after a pretty tough start. They have a pulse here in Calgary. Andrea Kelly in our feature. Drives the yellow back, and just the 1 removed.
It's like halfway, hey? Okay. All right, slow down. You guys, halfway's good.
Line's good. Half. Good half. To your broom.
It's good.
To your broom.
Oh, we're good, Des. Whoa. Just past. Go, Des, go.
Curl a little bit. Curl. Curl. Curl, curl, curl. Curl. Whoa.
Updates continue. Ackerman Curtis on sheet C, Kathy.
Well, for Stacey Curtis, she is yellow, and an opportunity here to get multiple points and get herself very much back in this game. Taking aim and trying to stick around. Chance for 3 or 4.
Stacey and her team out of the Remax Center, St. John's Curling Club, Newfoundland and Labrador. Gotta curl it up, and that shooter is spinning and rolling.
So she rolls a little bit too far. So it's 2 for sure. And that was just moments ago, and they went back and forth. And it was only 2.
Just 2 for sure right now. Those 2 can be moved.
So that means Saskatchewan a 7-6 advantage.
Yeah, she might.
Is that not her last
You want
shot
to call
though?
timeout? Yeah, we can call timeout. Okay. I like that. Call for timeout.
1 timeout per side, and Alberta will take their first timeout of this game, and that will mean that their coach, Ted Appleman, will come out.
I think we almost have to, hey? Like,
you like that?
Yeah. Here,
I really like a lot.
here.
What do we think the speed is out here, though? We have this side has been sitting for quite a while.
I think it's gonna make it heavy.
Yeah, like we haven't thrown anything down here for a couple ends, so that's my only concern. Do we stick with what we know and throw one in intern?
Tap it a little
and
bit.
Tap the one,
this,
or even the one right on the nose?
I don't know if
Doesn't
I like
that just
tapping.
leave a really easy double back though?
Okay.
That was double.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like this shot if we think we know the speed.
That's
I don't
the
think it's
biggest
going to be too bad. Like nothing
Is
has
it,
come
is
either.
it terrible if I'm short?
Not really.
know.
She's probably going to run that center back. She's going to.
Yeah.
I would,
think
I
I
would
like
suspect
that.
so.
Do you ever
The
hate
best
guarding?
outcome is the out turn.
Do you ever hate guarding on the first over there and then?
I just think she might wrap.
Yeah, I don't
then.
think the guard is helping us right now. I think we get real aggressive here.
Okay.
I mean, even if we force her to 1, it's not
Yeah.
terrible, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let's get aggressive and get a 2 steal.
There, probably
Okay.
ideally, hey?
Let's talk about the speed and the broom.
We're
Yeah.
looking at a 4-3.
Yeah, full 4.
So similar to what I was throwing there.
It's close because this has been sitting, but it's straighter. Do you like
Okay.
that?
Right?
Yeah,
Like, I think if you
4
do
is
this
good.
That's
4,
what they
5,
really
that's
like.
fine. I'm gonna max ice it, so if you need, just carve it in.
Okay, let's put it in a good spot, ladies.
Their concern, and you heard Ted say,
Okay. I like that then.
but they initially talked about playing the tap on the other side, but if you play the tap on the other side, you open up the double for sure for Northern Ontario. So their only concern on the side is that it's sat for a while. There haven't been a lot of rocks thrown in that area.
I don't think it's going to be crazy slow.
If you're short, your
Can I give you
opponent
same as
goes
my
around the
last
other
ball
way.
then?
They think that Krista's going to play the run back.
I think,
Yellow,
yeah,
yellow,
half
double
hours,
red.
short's okay. I think this is max, so just stay
So there's never been any doubt that this is the preferred choice. The only concern is weight.
Nice shot with her coach at Appleman, who was an alternate at Briar in 2019, winning a gold medal with Kevin Cooey.
Close for line. I think it's sliding okay.
And now Skip Stones here in 9. Selena Sturmay. Alberta's really finding their groove in the late stages of this game. And now just trying to maybe block off this run back.
Absolutely.
And that will help.
Yeah, holy.
Changes the angle a little bit here for Krista McCarville on that run back.
That's really heavy. It's 15 on one side, 13-4 on the other.
Isn't that the discussion they had, though, Kathy? That path of ice, they just weren't sure.
Yes. And in fairness to Selena, you don't want to throw tons and tons, but she threw a second and a half heavier than she would have on the other side.
I don't think it should have curled that much. That probably felt like T-line in the other track, or even more than that.
Home out turn,
okay.
I can't hear. What kind of weight? Asking is, she said timeout. Yeah. Oh. No, I just asked what kind of weight. Yeah. Lots of weight.
So trying to open up the front, run the yellow, red, yellow back, scatter things around, make a lot of noise.
Just like 8.
Needs a good one. 9th end, up by 1, in some trouble. Krista McCarville trying to get it to curl up, run it back, and tickles the Reds. But it is still Alberta lying the 2 here in 9.
That did not really help. It left all the stones in front. Her access to the forefoot still impeded.
Didn't want to move.
Shoot.
You can put it full forward.
At one point, it was a 6-1 advantage in this game for Northern Ontario. And now, Sturmay a chance to really apply the heat here in 9.
Danielle's was a 14-8. To the top 4 there? Yeah, that was
she's coming right into the forefoot.
How different of a kick do you want here? I think that kick is probably back 4 on this side. Okay, you think so, Doug?
So remember, different path.
Maybe a hair less then. Short's okay. Yeah, I think short's fine. Get aggressive with it. If you give us a 4-8, it'll be close.
So dramatically different weight speeds on this side now. And her tolerance for Selena is short. You're lying to in the forefoot. This is the nicer path for Krista McCarville to draw to. You do not want to go deep and bounce off your own.
Whoa! Slow back 8! Whoa, close! Back 8! Don't want to ever! Back straight! Don't want to! Whoa!
Back 8's more than what they wanted.
Don't curl, don't curl, don't curl.
Trying to grind down and stop and will, and right now 1, 2, 3 belonging to Alberta. 1 Yellowstone to come here from Krista McCarville.
Boy, the weight is coming off.
I don't know why I keep looking for a
Can she line them up and get some Reds to disappear?
Good job.
Oh, it's good throw. You can see that yellow though, past the guard. It's tight to the guard.
Well, it's like right here.
Can you get them all, Kath?
We saw enough to just double those
Well, you can get 2.
How much can you see here?
Where does that redstone right there go?
So you drive this onto here. This goes there. That goes there. And you might be able to nut your shooter right there.
I thought that didn't look too bad.
The red touching the hearts, the button, does that go anywhere, Kathy? Can
If she
kick
plays
that
it
out?
thin,
Yeah.
if she plays it thin, it will.
Okay.
And it might jam on the back one, but if you
Do you want
nut
to come
the
look
double,
from the hack?
You're like 9.5?
I was thinking 8.5.
Remember, Northern Ontario still has a timeout, and their time's pretty good right now. They're still over 4 minutes of thinking time.
I think the players and the hack are concerned that she can't see as much of this as she wants to. She has to get very close to the nose.
No.
There's a better look from that perspective, Kath, of what she can see.
Tough shot.
Will this curl or will it not?
It's close to the center line. Like out further, it'll be straight, but
I don't think it'll move much. No.
okay, 8.5.
Okay.
Tough shot, 9th end, final stone. Right now it's 3 stolen points for Alberta.
8.5.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa, whoa.
Go, girl!
Kendra!
Nothing yet. Krista McCarville trying to carve it over. Kendra Lilly, can she help her skip? Run the yellow back. My goodness. What a turn of events. A steal of 3 for Alberta. No quit in Selena Sturmay, and they lead by 2. Welcome back to the Winsport Event Center, where an unbelievable comeback is cooking, courtesy Alberta. Look at that scoreboard. It was 6-1 after 4 ends. 6 points in the last 3 ends from Alberta for a 2-point cushion. Kathy, you competed for a long time. You've covered this game for a long time. We've seen some interesting comebacks at this year's Scotties in Calgary.
We really have, and of course the change in the rule where you can't tick the stone, the guard off the center line, leads to more rocks in play, and you do see a lot more of that. But when you go back to last end, there were just too many misses by Northern Ontario. And if you think about what Selena Sturmay did, she had that timeout. They played that wide out turn in a path that's a 1.5 seconds slower, but it didn't hurt her by being short. And then she made a good one on her second. They were calling back 8 all the way, Brian. It wasn't at all. It really came off at the end, as we have seen this week, as it will often do. And it wound up perfect. And for Krista McCarville, didn't have very many choices. And it just ran straight.
And you see...
I was just going to say, you heard her say at the hack, will this curl or not?
Yeah,
not.
I don't, okay.
Paige Papley, a couple nice stones to start for Team Alberta. And you see the corners, the answer there from Ashley Sipola. And his second stones now. Here is the second for Northern Ontario, Kendra Lilly.
Whoa, whoa,
Just back 4.
whoa, yeah, whoa,
Whoa.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Curl. Curl.
curl, 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 keep going, go, 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 curl, 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 keep going, keep going, keep going. Go, go, go.
Takes the red to the hearts, buried. Alberta shot stone.
It's so straight for those shots.
Yeah, wow.
Only 2 games
I don't
on the
know that
ice
I
now
like
here at
that,
Winsport, and the other one right next door
I
as
don't
we
know that I
update
like-
Kathy, Sheet C.
Well, on her final stone, Stacey Curtis played a hit. And it was always going to be Saskatchewan line 1, but she blocked off one side, which really forces Skylar with this in turn. Way wide, has to get to the 4-foot.
Down there. Keep it brim down.
Always curl,
For the 2.
always curl.
Ackerman starting the week 3-0, has dropped the last 3 games.
Hard. Hard. Gotta go.
Has to drag and curl and move quite a bit to try get that second shot stone.
Gotta go.
And yeah, not going to get there, so it will be the single.
It's definitely a little bit straighter today. It's funny, often when they sharpen the stones, you start to see that really big movement. And so for Mike and his crew, they'll be looking at the different clip levels to try to ensure that it's similar to maybe what it has been and where they want it to be for the weekend. But any kind of weight, we've seen it track this morning. And even some of those draws, they're out there for a long time before they decide that they want to curl.
Second stone, Kendra Lilly here in 10. Northern Ontario down by 2.
Line's really good. Hard, yup, hard.
Hard.
Hard, 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 hard. Go, go, go,
We're there.
And Kendra right to the face of the red.
Short's okay. Okay. Hey, short's fine. Yeah.
A nice weight by Kendra. It's not shot, but it is in a good position.
Okay.
And for Alberta, we'll just keep going hard at Northern Ontario, try to come on top of that. And say, even if you make a run back, you're going to get 1, we'll give you 1, but we're not going to give you a chance for multiple.
said it a few times,
Please,
but that's
hop,
what's up.
tight. Little
That's
bit
what's
for line.
up for grabs
Copy.
this morning
Hard
for Alberta.
line. Chew it. Rim. Top
Chew
it.
it.
Close.
Do it.
Yep. Bouncing a little.
We're bouncing.
Yep.
T-line.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
And following it and right to it. And 3 stones now in that 4-foot area. Red belongs to Alberta. Shot stone.
My shoe is
Kathy,
literally
it's been an interesting one. It brings us to the game story.
Well, it really has been a tale of 2 different halves. In the first and in the fourth, without hammer, Krista McCarville manages to steal 2 when Sturmay doesn't make the double. But then what a flip it has been in the second 5. Too many misses by Northern Ontario. Good shots by Sturmay and team. That 3 leaps out at you at the board, and the numbers for both skips, not at all where they'd want to be, but even within that, the plus now goes to Sturmay, where it was definitely McCarville first 5.
4 stolen points over the last 2 ends. The game story brought to you by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue.
Hard. Hey, whoa, whoa. 3.
Little bump.
Yep. Yes. Whoa. Little rub. Little rub.
And a tickle of the red. And the stones piling up there, top 4.
Close.
Oh, the little rub she wanted was to move that red stone out enough that she can hit it if she has to,
This side. Yep.
and unlock that shot
How
stone.
deep do you want it? How deep? In like just outside half.
Okay.
Just outside
Just
half.
outside half, yeah.
Okay. You got it, Danielle. There. Little early. Don't want to. Wait's good for half. Early.
Danielle Schmiemann.
Alberta trying to plug the hole.
Line's good. Just over half. Close. Halfway. Just past your broom. Gotta sit. We're past your broom. Gotta sit. Sit. Good. Nice shot. Sit. Go. Good. Good judge. Good job.
I think so.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
Clean up aisle 1, Kathy.
It is cleanup aisle 1, but
at
if you
this.
get motion coming forward and you hit the red stone
There.
Okay.
Let's go, Andrea.
hard, both of the red ones will pop. The red will go sideways, and the one that is the shot stone will go out. So Northern Ontario definitely sees an opportunity for 2. And maybe Andrea can make that happen right now.
In 10. Andrea Kelly. And just wicks that red, moves the other red guard in a little tighter, but didn't open it up.
Well, and the theme for today is whoa. They have taken lots of ice.
Probably easier.
Very
Well,
rarely
I
are
don't
they
know if you
working
can go
really
one
hard to get stones by. It's throw it and wait, or hope to carve.
That one out of her hand. The release looked a little bit out there, Kathy.
Going this way?
Probably the one we know. Throw straight first.
Okay. Halfway kind of thing?
Yeah.
Straight guard the 5?
Yeah.
4-2. She's been throwing it 4-2. I think they're the same. 2? 2-4.
Straight guard the board side 1.
Okay. So just cross center, not quite?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Speed hasn't changed since you threw it last time. If not, it's a foot faster.
Or less.
It's probably a foot faster.
So where is the perfect spot for this stone, Kathy? What are you thinking?
About halfway.
Okay.
So you want to make, if there's going to be another run back by Krista, you want to make it difficult. With Andrea's, there was a lot of space. It's easy just to remove one. The closer it is, the easier it is to make multiple rocks
Just
move.
inside half. Curl.
Hard does. Gotta get to center. Gotta cross.
Curl. Tight. Curl. Tight.
Desiree Haas trying to knife this
Curl.
over.
Curl. Keep going. Hard.
Curl.
Whoa.
And it's tight. Right in that pocket.
Not bad.
But
Well, it's not bad because she
16.
took away the straight run back of the stone to the right of the center line.
just 2 yellow rocks remaining for Northern Ontario. Shot stone right now, Alberta. And they use their timeout. Rick Lang to the ice.
Like, are you thinking a 10 just so this one?
Yeah, we can't play a ton of weight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's timeout.
Nose hit it with a 10, right?
Well, I know what she's
Still that
playing.
far
So
enough.
she's- hopefully.
You want the yellow on yellow, right?
Yeah. Okay, 10.
Slightly high?
No, not slightly high.
No?
I don't think.
Okay.
No.
It's almost no.
Nose or if anything low if we can.
Yeah.
You can't roll in off it.
What weight did you say?
Like 10.
I like that. Yep.
There, 10.
Okay.
How much nose is?
High is better than low, though.
Yep. You're right.
High is better than low. High being on the side of the broom that Andrea is holding, because it will drive into the mix. You're likely to become shot,
Okay.
and you might even squirt the top red one just a couple of inches sideways, but that may be enough to lie two. And then because of where Selena Sturmay threw her guard, really tough to run anything in.
Timeout over. McCarville in the hack. Her
We've
first
got
here in
10.
10 in
Just
some
10.
trouble.
Yep.
Easy if anything. Hard, Kendra.
Kendra Lilly right out of her hand. Needs a great shot. McCarville run it back, clips the yellows.
Beauty.
And that is now a different situation. Northern Ontario line with 2 with hammer and 10.
Great brushing. I just finished saying they mostly watch stones today, not that one. Right out of her hand. Great job by Kendra to keep that stone straight, to catch that little outside. Northern Ontario line 2.
Two into the shot.
You heard them in the timeout talk about the weight control. Didn't want to throw that high hard one, needed the right weight, and that is a big shot at a key time for McCarville.
Hitting the red. Either or, probably the red is easier.
So how much of that red do you think she can see from the hack here, Kathy?
Teal? Yeah.
I don't know. I can't imagine that it's a whole heck of a lot. There you go.
Wow.
So she needs to be able to get by the front with as little as possible to make as much contact on the red stone so that the yellow stone belonging to Northern Ontario drags out of the forefoot.
What a game it's been. What a comeback thus far. Selena Sturmay, her final stone in 10. Nothing yet. Picks the red in, but it is still 2 for Northern Ontario with 1 to come. Can she get the winning point in there?
Ow.
2 yellow for
That's
sure.
completely buried, that red.
Can you come in off that red
Can you
and
try
get your third point?
Can you just try and come here?
Guards.
Sure.
I
the
think
try.
that the draw
I don't know
may
if that's
be.
there. We can't mess with ours, though.
No, not with a draw.
Minute 10 remaining of time for Team McCarville.
There's really,
I
it's.
don't know if this is even there, but
I don't know if it is either, but you don't have a lot of
That's
other
more weight.
options.
yeah.
That red stone is
Curl it in there.
buried.
Back 4.
Yeah.
So you got to draw
need a little
in,
bit more
hope
up here?
it curls.
Probably.
This is where you need that cutter, don't you, Kathy?
Yes, you do.
So right now,
Okay,
it's an
line's
extra
good.
end. But can Krista McCarville pull
Line's
off a
good.
little bit of magic here in 10?
Line's good, yeah.
Find a way to draw this in for the third point and the winning point.
It's heavy.
Whoa, room. Room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here comes the house. Here comes that forefoot. A little clip, a little spin. Can it spin a bit more? It will not. But a massive 2
I don't think that was there.
for
really.
Krista McCarville. You heard them. Probably wasn't there, but we know what is there. It's an extra end, and it's next.
That would have been.
The 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Scotties Facial Tissue. Unleash the Scotties. By Montana's Barbecue and Bar, Canada's home for barbecue. By BKT Tires, growing together. And by Home Hardware. Here's how.
It's been entertaining. Our feature, Winsport. A tale of 2 games. What a comeback from Team Alberta, but full credit, Krista McCarville, Kathy, when they needed her the most. That first stone, massive to ensure the 2, a 9-9 tie, and an extra end underway here in 11. Alberta, red stones with the hammer.
Well, a big mistake by Ashley Slippel on her second. She threw the nice long guard on her first one, was trying to throw a shorter guard, and wound up coming in. And of course, that gives your opponent a pass to chase it. And Northern Ontario only now has 1 guard to work with, asking for a second.
And remember, too, the non-tick now, you can't tick or move over that high guard as well if you're Team Alberta. So you see the 2 in the house.
Guard, got a curl, little. Line's good.
Use
Curl,
the curl.
Curl. Curl, little. Curl. Curl, go, bring it, bring it, bring it. Hard, hard.
Hard.
Go, 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 go.
Nice,
Good.
Kendra.
D1.
Smells like, what does that smell?
And an update on this Wednesday morning, Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, Labrador, Kathy, sheet C.
Well, Skylar Ackerman hit on her final stone, so very, very tough shot for Stacey Curtis, trailing by 2, and so she's trying to run a corner guard in and make a triple.
Final stone. Big sweep for Stacey Curtis. Can she come back? Oh, wow.
So close to making that.
Wow. Clipped in. However, you see that red lurking, and that'll do it. Saskatchewan remaining at 3 losses, Kathy, and that is critical for young Skylar Ackerman and her team out of Saskatchewan to try stay alive in that playoff hunt. Yes, they are. They came out red hot, 3 wins in a row, then lost 3 straight, and now 4 and 3. Good for them.
Still one of the great stories of this year's Scotties. The youth, not only the future of Saskatchewan, but it is a 22-year-old skip. Great future at this Scotties as well.
You got it, Jess. Yep.
Now, we talked about her numbers, the first 5 were not at all consistent with what she has been throwing this week. Now she's up to 89. That is consistent with how she's played this week.
And I guess, you don't learn until you do it, whether it's winning, losing, close games. I mean, what do you think Alberta can take away from this win or lose? The fact that, listen, they didn't give in. They battled back against a really good team here.
Absolutely great point, Brian. It's the first game they come out without Hammer, so that's a little bit different. Then they get down 6-1. That is most definitely different. But all of a sudden, they were up. Coming home, your opponent makes a great shot. You have Hammer. No matter what, it taught them that they can come back. And that's a fight that you need to win this event, because you're not going to lead every game that you play. You're just not.
Try it now. Which way do you want? Okay. Yes.
Trying to eliminate now as many rocks as possible. Team Alberta.
Heel.
Danielle Schmiemann.
Lean. Curl. 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 Shooter.
And she'll get the 1.
And all Northern Ontario needs is 1, so they will continue on Andrea's to throw a guard.
Tighter.
Okay, good. Line's okay.
Yeah, line's fine.
Gotta stop.
Yeah. Gotta stop. It's gonna overcurl. Gotta stop. Gotta stop.
Interesting too, Kathy. 2 storylines of this game. Kind of two different stories on the paths of ice as well when it comes to speed. Throwing these high guards,
There's a double, yeah.
as much as what, 1.5 to 2 seconds difference depending on the time of the game on the draw to the in-turn, out-turn.
And that's such an important part as a front end and as brushers to think about paths. Where have we been? How long is the ice sat? And that really made an impact on the ninth end. Last time we went this way.
Hard! Hard! Hard!
Schmiemann one more time, and she'll rattle the yellow in, but more importantly, that top up front area open for Skipper to have a shot available
Nice shot.
to secure the win here in 11 at some point.
It does, but for Krista McCarville, because those stones are partially locked, she will have something to work with and duck behind.
Fully buried is fine, but we don't want it over buried, really.
Don't know if she's throwing a guard or going in
I see what
now.
you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
It is
Back
Alberta,
button
the
and
shot
yeah.
zone
Yeah.
for now in
It's
the
a great
eighth.
speed here still.
Yeah.
And that little biter there out in the wings there, back 12, Kathy.
You never
Just
know what's
never
going to
know.
matter. You are absolutely right.
Never know.
And that has been a bit of the story in the second half. The first half, no.
T-box 4.
But the second half has been difficult.
Room.
Gotta go a little less.
Room.
Gotta go.
Hard then.
Gotta go. Go, go, go.
Trying to come around that stagger here, Kathy. Krista McCarville, her first. Can she get around? All hands on deck. Andrea Gelly jumps out to brush.
Hard, 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 hard.
And it will be the shot stone, but it is wide open here for Selena Sturmay.
What was that?
And they'll use their timeout here in the extra.
Probably just try and stick around over here, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll have the same thing.
Get as close as
A
you
little
can.
roll away that just gives her options, hit and roll, or just straight draw. So let's take that away
That's
from her.
true. If she rolls back, we have the full
Yeah.
floor to draw too.
I still think I like throwing close to hack in this path.
Yeah.
Yeah, hack's perfect
Yeah.
weight. It's controllable. We can hold it. We can carve it.
Yeah.
But let's not flirt with the top, but stick
Okay,
around
kind of
nose.
close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably like a 12-5.
Okay, let's put a good one on it. You ready?
Yeah, I
Heads
think-
up.
Yeah. It's, I would say probably on the 12 side of things, just based
I don't
on
think
how
they called a
heavy those
timeout
are.
because they didn't know whether they should hit this stone or
Well,
not, but it was
might
more a
really rock.
discussion
Okay.
of where do
like that,
we
so now you got
want
it.
to roll the shooter, and the conversation is don't roll it at all, because if you're in that area, it's going to make it harder for Krista. She can't ignore it, and it'll be very tough to draw around that wide in-turn because of where that long red sponge towel guard
Back
is.
to the other side.
Yeah, I think a low 12 is good here.
Yeah, I like that.
What we know about the ice this morning is with a hack kind of weight, it's easier for the brushers to keep the stone out than it is to make it move in.
Air big. Whoa. Oh, we're
Not her
big.
best
Curl.
numbers, however,
Curl. 12.
it won't matter with the
Well,
W
hard
when it's all
curl.
said and done. Her first here in 11.
Curl. Hard, Des. Curl. Hard.
No roll.
Yellow removes. And it will be 1-2 right now. Team Alberta. One to come here from Krista McCarville.
Well, the bonus for Krista is that she has just thrown this shot. She knows the pass, she'll know the weight.
So hair more weight.
Yeah, even if it's back 4, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, a little
Yeah,
more
even
weight.
taking it
Yeah,
back.
a little, yeah.
Has to be the shot stone. 2 to come in 11. Final stone, Krista McCarville in a 9-9 tie. Extra end here in Calgary.
Roll line.
Mine's really great. Yeah.
Mine's good.
Weight's
Curl,
great.
curl, curl.
Hard line. Hard line. Hard line.
Back 4.
You hear the weight. Back 4. They were going for line.
Whoa.
They got a lot of room. They're by the guard, no problem. This has got to slow down. Has to be shot stone. Has to stop in time. And it will just stop in time.
Yeah, we are.
To force Alberta to throw their final stones.
Line,
Sturmay.
better, but then, yeah. For sure.
Well, keeping in mind that for Krista, it was another rock down that path, just gets that little bit quicker. Brushers thought they had to go really hard. They didn't have a ton of room by those top two, but went a little bit deeper.
I got a 4-2 on that one.
I did too. I thought she was quite back with it.
Okay. Yeah. Somewhere in there.
Okay, the quite back with it, feeling that she got a little bit full. She's taking a dramatically more ice. Sweepers need to be aware of the path.
What a game it's been. What an opportunity. At one point, down 6-1 in the game. Selena Sturmay has battled all the way back in a 9-9 tie.
Line's great.
Final stone in 11.
There it goes. Line's
Proud,
great.
ready to get behind this young skip from Alberta on home ice.
Line's great. T.
Has to slow down. Needs to dig in, and it will. Alberta comes all the way back and wins, still perfect, and has qualified. 10-9 your final. At the very worst, Alberta is into the top three, and they'll finish 1 or 2 in the group. What a comeback story.
And that's awesome. You saw Selena turn and wave to the crowd earlier in the week. They just walked off. That is now embracing the moment and everything that's good. And the parents, well, they're pretty happy with how that worked out.
Probably a few more gray hairs in that one, Kathy. That was quite the comeback story. And Ted Appleman, full credit to him. That timeout, a great resource from the bench, rallying this team after 5, and a massive comeback. Still perfect on home ice. Go, Alberta, go. They've been going, and they are 6-0, and they have qualified. They will be one of the top 3 teams in Pool A. Unbelievable stuff, Selena Sturmay. You see those 3 lost teams as Ackerman 4-3. Laws, that was a big win. And you never know, will the head-to-head, the draw to the button, make the difference on that side? I just want to rock. Well, that young lady's been rocking. Alberta behind her. Been an awesome show thus far. Later on this afternoon, Clancy Grandy, 5-1. Rachel Holman, perfect. Remember, she knocked off Jennifer Jones last night in that tilt. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time later on today. Vic, Russ, Joe, Kathy have you covered. We've seen a lot so far. It's Wednesday at the Scotties. It is time to get moving if you want to get to the playoffs. What a job by Team Alberta as they win again on home ice. Thanks for watching our coverage. The Scotties lives right here on TSN.